Shiv.
Here.
Valeria.
Here.
Rudy. Rudy.
I think I saw him light up.
Lamorn.
I can't hear Mark or Jeremy.
I couldn't hear Jeremy, but I could hear Mark.
Rovania.
I'm here.
So the only person I couldn't hear was Rudy, and apparently Chris can't hear me.
How about now?
Oh, there you go.
Yep, we hear you now.
Had the wrong thing plugged in.
Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just a spectator. I mean, it wasn't necessarily me.
All right, who would like to handle the recap of what's been happening down below in the hell pit?
I just remember we got ambushed like 4 times.
I could try to do a quick recap. A lot happened, so I might be a little off. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do like in Spaceballs, a short version. Started out with us being attacked by little the dog-sized rats as we were looking at that treasure in a side cave. We dispatched those pretty easily. The only bad part about that was Lamorn decided he wanted to nuke one into oblivion, and we did it through Rovanian's back. So that was fun. And then we continued on to the cave, where 2 of our party met these strange one-eyed creatures that seemed to understand their thoughts. And then we basically followed them into their cave. They then vanished as they seemed to sense something, and then we were attacked by 2 different parties of rat men. One was down where the one-eyed golems were at, or wherever they were, and the other party, the rats, came up from the other side, led by some guy who was able to toss globes of poisonous gas that seemed to basically decimate the people it landed on. Rovanian stayed with the first party, trying to defend them against the rats from this, I guess we would say, south, while Valeria and Zarak were starting to become overwhelmed by the party from the other side because they used a noose to grab around Valeria's neck and started trying to drag her away. And Zarak bravely gave chase, trying to save her. Rovanian actually had the similar fate in the south. He got one wrapped around his neck as they tried to drag him down a hole as well. The party fought on. Zarak was able to push on to Valeria, and with the last effort, he levitated her body so that the rat could not pull her into the caves below. The creature tried really hard, but realized he could not actually budge her anymore, so he let go. And Zarak levitated her over and saved her from probably a very cruel fate. Rovanian, using the last of his supernatural rage, stared down the rat, trying to pull him into the hole, snapped his rope with his fist, and then that rat just ran off at that point. At that point, most of the ones were dead or had been driven off. The party basically got back together again to basically decide at this point we probably reached the limit of our resources. We probably should try to leave. So we ended up going to the west a little bit through the caves, where our resident rogue found we found a toppled down tunnel. Our resident rogue decided he'd try to crawl through and see at least what's on the other side. He found, I believe, a chest or something on the other side, but as he was inspecting it, 2 creatures dropped down on top of him. And that's where we ended up. Once again, failing to find our way out of here.
Very well done. Give yourself a point of inspiration. I'm going to move everybody to the map. Let's roll some initiative here.
Oh god, my Jareth curse follows me. I feel like I'm Sam from Critical Role. I just roll as low as he does.
Don't jinx. Do not jinx yourself like that.
Ken. That's actually what I rolled for my first con save in this game, actually. And that's why I got sick that one time with that disease.
Is it normal to already be terrified and we haven't even started yet because I can't see anything?
I'm right there with you, bud. I'm in the back, standing next to the cleric, who's probably out of spells. So I am just as terrified as everybody else.
Welcome to my world.
I'm out of rage points and I'm half health, but I'm not half health from the creatures.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm a little less than half health right now, and yeah. Yeah.
So crawling over, Drummond instantly saw what seems to be a broken treasure chest set on the far side of this small enclosure. Yet in front of this treasure chest seemed to have been a pile of bones. Sort of skirting around the bones, trying to be careful not to dislodge them, his sole focus was on this chest. And as soon as he reached it was when the dirt clods began to fall and land on his shoulder as he looked up as these two tentacle and beaked, slithering snake-like creatures dropped from the ceiling towards him. This is kind of bad news bears because this is a surprise round. What do you mean when you stepped out? Oh, no, Thalion. If you would have stepped out earlier before this is triggered, something was going to happen. But you were staying inside that room. So Grick 1, they rolled in order, is going to drop down and it's going to lash out with his tentacles at advantage.
Hopefully we hear him crying on pain, because we actually haven't heard anything.
Give it a minute.
I think the 14 misses, I don't know what.
Like, are you okay in there?
Oh, 14 just hits. He's going to use his reaction. You can use your reaction during a surprise round, correct, Ken? Ken?
Sorry, what's that?
Can you use your reaction during a surprise?
You cannot. You have no actions or reactions during a surprise round.
Okay, Grick 2 is going to land on top of Drummond and he's going to bite at him with a beak at advantage.
I think a barbarian can use their reaction during a surprise round, but only if they rage at the beginning of their first turn. I think
Okay.
it's part of danger sense.
This really sucks.
Yeah, I think there's also a feat that allows you to use your reaction during a surprise round, but you would have to have that feat.
Well, the
You
alert
guys
feat,
hear
you
a
can't
sound?
surprise, but you-
You guys hear a sound from Drummond you've never heard before. A primal cry of absolute horror and pain before it is stifled out to grim silence as the screams echo through the hallways and past the rocks. Drummond is down with 2 failed death saves.
Valeria, that sounded like Drummond. I think he's hurt.
Oh, bloody hell. That did not sound good up ahead.
Oh no!
I can't even see him. I don't even know where he is.
It's a good thing he's not here right now.
I know. It would have been just as bad with him here, though. Wow.
Since I didn't get to kill him, I'm giving you the chance to.
When I hover over his name, I can't even see the yellow box around him. He must be, what is he, like 50 feet ahead of us?
He's far away in a cavern that was sealed off by rocks.
Isn't that what he does?
Huh, okay. Awesome.
I think, yeah, he called back and said there's a chest here, and I think somebody in the last session told him to go check it out. So
He did tell us where he was going before we
Yeah,
came here, so we should know where he's at.
oh fuck me. All right, well here goes nothing. This since he's not here, he has to make a death save on his turn.
Can I roll? Can I roll?
No.
No, you kill him.
Give me one quick second. I want to look at his items to make sure he doesn't have anything that could be useful in this moment.
Or if he has a point of inspiration, he should use it.
He needs inspiration
he
on death saves?
does not have inspiration. The only person with inspiration this session should be Rovanian and I think Shiv, because everybody else used theirs last time.
Can I give him my inspiration if it'll save his life?
You can.
I'll give him my inspiration. Try to save his life.
Okay, let me see. Is there a button for death save advantage?
There is not.
Or do I just toggle advantage and hit death save?
You could try that, but it didn't work for me when I tried it.
Okay, here we go. Godspeed, Drummond. Okay, so that is a success, but I'm going to roll one more time. Okay, so he has one success. He, however, does not pop up. And you guys hear the sounds of what seems to be crunching and slurping as somebody's eating some meat.
Oh no!
Roman is a tasty meal.
Especially considering he's already hurt and bleeding.
Yeah, he's a teenager.
Yes.
He's a little spicy, like a kebab.
he's a little extra hot.
Okay. Valeria's going by double speed, double move. I don't know which way did he go. Did anybody see which direction he went? Left or right?
I point towards these rocks. To the right of me.
Okay.
You hear these gurgling coughs and muffled cries of pain.
So did you see where I pointed?
I can't even move there. Like I'm stuck. Oh wait, I have to go this direction. I can't.
There you go.
There you go. You're unstuck now.
Okay. Difficulties. Let me see, how much did I go? 5, 10, 20. Okay, I still have some more movement. 25, 30. Alright. If I go here, I can't see him. I don't see him anywhere.
You look up and you can hear the cries and the short muffled cries of pain from the other side of this wall that's about 15 feet up in this sort of slope of rocks. I'm going to need a athletics check if you're going to try to climb this thing with haste.
Okay. light somewhere, but oh well.
15's pretty good. You scramble up that thing pretty fast. And yeah, it takes you 15 feet to get to the top.
Okay. I think that's all my movement.
Elise, we need a power play. You have a bonus? Oh, did you have a bonus action that you wanted to try to use, Valeria?
Oh my god.
Let me see what I
Elise, you
have.
don't have it all.
Hold on, Elise.
Let me put my blade on first, because I don't think I really have anything.
Otherwise, we'll just go down automatically.
I mean, I don't know if I see him, because I think I'm, let me see him.
There's your light right there. It was under Rudy.
I don't see him. This is nerve-wracking.
Should be able to. I see it from where I'm at. You know, the rock should block him.
I know I can't. I guess.
Well, should you be able to see him if she's on top of it?
You should be able to see him. You're on top of that wall.
Yeah, you should be able to see him.
Okay, then I have healing word at him. I have healing word at him. I can't see him, but yeah, my last
so what
healing
I'm
word.
do is I'm going to put you right here on the middle of here. And then I'm going to put your light right here. Can you see?
I can see him now.
Okay, so just be careful when you try to put yourself on a square, like right here, halfway over. Because as soon as you do that, it's just going to mess with your light.
Okay.
So that was your movement and action to dash, and then healing word thankfully brings Drummond up to 5. You see him sort of on the ground, and you're looking at these two almost 3 to 4 foot long and like thick snake-like creatures with these mouth tentacles and huge like parrot beaks, like just trying to get at him. Oh boy. Okay, it's their turn.
Hey, leave him alone!
No, it's not. It's Elise's turn. I messed up. Elise!
I was about to say, wait.
I forgot. It's Elise's turn.
Sub! Flail! Okay.
Please help!
Oh my goodness. Sorry. 5, 10, 20. Wait. Do I have to? That's a wall of rocks, right? That I have to kind of climb over.
That's a wall of rocks, and you can see Valeria at the very top, sort of bracing herself. Just as she casts some magic inside, there was a brief flash of light. As she's looking back at you, calling out for your help.
Yeah. She's like, what the heck? Is there a way I can get up on that wall too? Or is it only room for enough, like, because the tunnel... How wide is the tunnel? Can it fit 2 or just 1?
You can definitely move past her if she can get out of the way. But
Okay.
it is a very narrow tunnel.
Okay. Okay, then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get past her. 15... 20... 25... 30... Yeah, shit.
Maybe you get in his face and then do bonus action. At least he'll attack you or something.
Actually,
So
okay,
did you,
that was
did you
my full
dash? Did
movement.
you dash up there? Did you use your action to dash?
I used my regular movement so far.
So if you started next to Leomorn,
wait.
you would have had to walk over red 7.
I started
So
right.
you'd have went 10,
right here.
15, 20, 25, and then 30 would get you to Valyria.
30. Yeah, okay, yeah, and then I'm gonna double move because I can't stand up on that thing with her, right? So I'm gonna go down here.
We'll say that your wings shoot you up to 15 feet. No check needed to be made.
Okay. Oh yeah, because it's 50. Right. And then come down here, and I'm gonna do one more over. And then I'm going to, on the first one right here, right in front of me, I'm going to attack it with my rapier to hopefully get it off.
You
German, 'cause
used
they're
your
both on
action.
Oh no.
You'd have to use your action to
Double.
dash.
Never mind, I'm just gonna stay there.
Give a bonus.
You have more movement if you want to get right up next to Drummond. Or you,
That's a scary proposition. We don't want 2 people will get knocked down.
I know that sounds like, do I really want to make both of us
get
go down?
closer? Yes.
I think I'm gonna. Oh wait, shit. Some Valyria.
Okay. I'm going to say
I'm
you're
just gonna stay right there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
As you run up, red 1 is going to turn and snap at you with its. Oh, I did this all wrong.
Just.
Oh boy, Drummond actually should have been dead, but we are going to never mind that. He would have died in that surprise round. But C'est la vie. It's going to turn around at you, Elise. It's going to snap at you with its tentacles first. See if it hits. For a 12.
Yep, that gets me.
12 hits you.
Yeah, because remember you broke my armor last round, so yep, that gets
Oh,
me.
you take 11 points of slashing damage.
Oh god.
Oh, I
And
told you we
as
should have
the-
left a while ago.
As the tentacles reach around your body and rake at your skin, it's going to pull you in towards its beak and it's going to bite at you. Like right into your torso, trying to get at your soft spot. For a 10.
Thank god, no.
Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ah, shit. Fuck me. When I put these guys in here, I was not expecting this scenario to happen, but here we go. Red 2 is going to... It's going to attack Drummond with its tentacles with advantage since he is prone on the ground. Oh, missing with an 8. He missed with the tentacles, so he cannot attack with his beak. Holy balls. Alright, Garsh.
Garshadow, go. Now, Garshadow can jump and climb. Well, do you still want me to roll for him going over there?
He has a climb speed, so this is like walking up, like baby step.
Try to save room for me in there. I can't help.
I left the spot. And
I can't see what's in there, so I have no idea what to expect until I can.
he's gonna bite the one that's grappling Elise, since Joe Min isn't grappled currently.
Is it red 1? Or red 2? I couldn't hear you.
I can't actually see the numbers, but it's that one. The one
Okay.
on the least.
The 23 definitely. It sort of recoils and lets go of Elise with its tentacles as it sort of rises up almost like a cobra, except the tentacles sort of shrilling out as the beak sort of screams.
And that is Garshadow's turn.
Zirak.
All right, let's see. What's the quickest way the fuck out of here?
Other than up.
I will move so that I can perhaps try and gauge what's going. All right, so that's all my movement. Let me zoom out so I can see what I see. Do I have line of sight to any of the creatures that are up here?
You have line of sight. You have line of sight on Valeria's backside, as she is currently up this wall, and you can see that all the action is happening from there.
Okay, so
wall's about
that
15 feet up.
Okay, I will take the dodge action.
Okay. Lay.
Okay, crap, I do not have anything in my repertoire for this, do I? Crap. So wait, how much movement speed do I lose just walking over the bodies?
It's difficult terrain to step over the bodies, as you know they're kind of lumbering and different, so you have to like do a high step over them, so you're taking your time. So it's 10 feet to get through an enemy square, but I'll give you like 5, 15, 20. I'll let you do that instead of having to blow 20 feet walking over the two of them.
All right. Whenever I go, Rudy, follow my voice, and I'll run up to here. And now I got like a straight shot at the wall, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can see Zirak sort of looking up, tense, at this wall of stones and boulders.
I swear I'm not staring at her ass. I swear that's not what's going down here.
And Valeria's
But I
standing
am
at the
looking
top.
up at the clear.
Good thing she has all that armor on.
Yeah, she's got like a metal
like a metal skirt thing
underwear.
going on.
Yeah.
And some
She's got like
greaves
a
underneath
chastity
there.
belt or something.
Okay, and do I see the path behind Zirak? Do I see it like going up to that same area?
You do see some paths next to Zirak that lead further down away from where this encounter's happening.
Shit. I really don't have much. The only thing I could honestly think of is 5, 10, 15, 20.
I need a decision.
Okay, the only thing I could think of is I'll have Leo chant a few words as mist starts to swirl around him and use Misty Step to pop over to the other side of the wall.
Give me a... I'll say give me a general wisdom check, as you cannot see where you're popping in.
Oh boy. Nope! Not gonna make it.
You pop in, land on a pile of bones, and fall prone.
Oh, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake.
And now you're looking at these two snake-like creatures in front of you, sort of harassing these other two as one of them kind of looks back at the now prone.
So I'm pretty sure everyone will hear, oh, that really hurt. high-pitched scream.
Drummond actually points a finger at you, and they're like, "Eat him! Eat him!"
Not me, you. I'm trying to help you, you fool.
Okay, that was your bonus action spell, and then I believe your movement.
Could I actually like spend it to get up and then?
You say you're going to use your action to dash?
I don't know where to dash to.
Well,
Like
you're going to
already
need to
laying
dash
down.
if you want to stand up, because you used 5, 15, 20, 25 feet of movement. You need half your movement to
You
stand
do
up.
really just want to be standing up with these guys.
Yeah, I'll probably dash, but I don't really have that much space. I
Okay,
can probably
so
dash
you're
to, like
gonna-
to the wall farthest from them.
Then they're gonna attack you.
You're not going to be able to actually get away from them. Like you can press yourself backwards, but they'll attack you. So you're kind of stuck. That crit fail really hurt.
I would
Yeah,
dash and stand up.
Definitely hurt.
So you definitely dash to stand back up at least, so they won't have advantage on their attack against you.
Okay.
Poor Rudy and her candle. Rudy, it is.
Alright, I will
Well, she-
pull Leo
she-
board until he disappears.
Well, like you should have been able to hear me like the footsteps going over, and then poof.
So, what's this big pile of rubble?
You're looking, and with your candle, you sort of shine your light, and at the top, you can see Valeria's light sort of cascading down it a little bit, and you can see that it looks like a stacked pile of rocks that have been placed at the mouth of this opening that Valeria is currently standing in front of, and that Xerac is getting ready to sort of go at anything that tries to come out at them.
So those rocks are about 15 feet up.
About 15 feet up.
I am going to use my action to dash, and I'm going to get there, and I am just going to leap this 15 feet because I can do that.
Nice.
And who gets the healing?
Elise and Drummond. are
It's a
both
tough
there.
choice. They're both at 5 hit points.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we're both practically about to die.
I think that depends on how many spells she has left.
Oh, this is so painful.
You can roll a D2. See where that gets.
Elise.
Okay.
Woo! You
Go ahead and re-roll. Go ahead and re-roll one of those D4s. Okay, so that's 9 points of healing.
there you go, Elise.
Are you hanging just on the other side of the wall there, Rudy?
Am I hanging or am I on the surface?
Thank you.
Are you on Valeria's side, kind of next to her, or are you on the other cave entrance? Are you on the cave side of it?
I'll be on the other side.
Okay. Valiant.
I think I can only get to the top on the opposite end of where Rudy's hanging. Once I get there, instead of pulling my glaive free, I want to draw my bow and fire at the one closest to Elise.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check, as you're going to try to climb this.
Wow, the first time I rolled low on athletics.
So in your rush to plan, as you really don't know what's on the other side, you still somewhat have your glaive out, and it's just really, really hard to climb with the glaive, and it'll be double movement to get to the top of where that is. So that'll be 30 feet of movement to climb to the top, as you have this large two-handed weapon that is quite long and pretty hard to fit in this area.
Okay,
So half speed, you'll be climbing it at half speed. So it's difficult terrain. Let's start.
Okay, and I will actually make sure that I can see there. I will wait there and kind of call out orders to Guard Shadow and prepare to jump over next turn. But I want Robane to get in before me.
Okay. Rovan.
I can make it over. Okay, I'll move 10 feet to here, and then I'm going to try to climb as well.
Okay, give me an athletics check. $11 is a success. Stallion just failed with a 9.
How much my movement does it take? So it's 10, and if I want to get...
It's... With the ability to go up, I'm kind of homebrewing this to where you guys' adrenaline is kind of flowing and giving you that sort of energy fuel that you need to get up in this area. So by rolling over a 10 athletics, you're able to climb this with a pretty substantial pace. Thalion just wasn't able to do it as he failed with a 9.
So it still takes 5 of my movement then?
It takes 15 feet of movement to get to the top.
Oh, okay. So I'm at 25 then right now. Okay. Then getting down is easy, just drop down.
You can just drop down.
Okay. That's 25 where I'm at now. And 30, 35, 40. So I think I do 40, I can go here then.
Okay.
Please, and I'm going to attack this one.
Okay.
How do you have 40 feet of movement?
Barbarian.
Oh, okay, so you're unarmored?
Yeah, I'm unarmored.
Okay, yeah, that's same as Sojin.
Can't you tell he's flashing you his sweet abs and that?
That's true. He does have the abs.
Yeah,
showing.
I was gonna say.
just to be fair, Chris looks like that in real life too. So
Yeah, I wish. No. Maybe like 15 years ago.
I think Ken's flattery is definitely pulling through now.
I'm guessing that
10 misses. It's pretty close quarters in here, and you got Leomorn and Elise kind of right next to you, so you're sort of having to measure your swings, and you just weren't able to sort of connect with the first. The 17 is a definite hit. Holy balls. That one is looking real bad. 2 of its tentacles have been sheared off by your greatsword, and you can see where part of the beak has been cracked from the force of the sword.
I give like a bloodthirsty cry at it as I do that, try to get their attention. I'm done.
Guard Shadow mimics the shout to intimidate him.
Okay, and it is the top of round 2. Drummond is going to stand up using 5 feet of his movement because he is athletic. he's going to lash out at the one who's been trying to get him with his rapier. I still had advantage, but he does sadly miss with the 8. Not fun. He's going to use his bonus action to disengage. With a free action, he's going to pick up a rock, throw it so it bounces off the wall next to Leomord, and say, "Intern, take over." 5, 10, 15 feet here. So that's 20 feet.
So true, you are still working for him, Lemon.
And he's going to sort of press his back against the wall here as he can't move any further. He's bleeding profusely out of some cuts, gashes on his arms, torso, and up around his neck. He's looking pretty bad. Valeria.
Going to cast defense on Elise.
Okay.
And that's all I can do for now.
At least you watch as these tendrils of white light begin to grow from the ground. These beautiful ivy plants blooming these wonderfully silver flowers that sort of encompass your body as you begin to glow with a silver radiant light. Okay, and it is your turn.
Awesome. Great.
Red triangle of death.
The one right in front of me, I am going to attack with my rapier.
Sadly, this is an 8.
Cries. And then, as a bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word at Drummond.
He will gladly take it.
Do that. Boop. What the?
Go ahead and re-roll that d4.
Oop.
Well, looks like he's sticking with the 6.
Fate's meant it to be.
Yep.
He's with roll 20 tonight.
Oh yeah.
We'll just call even for the lightning bolt in the back.
Low heal.
Yeah. Don't you dare with her.
Low heal. Low heal
she
is
will
better
not
than
live that
no
All right, and I think that's about it. Did my action in that? Yep.
Okay, red 1 is going to turn and snap at Elise as the bright light is sort of grabbing its attention. 22 with the tentacles. As an action, and you ally the first time an ally is hit. Okay, so you're still going to take the damage, and go ahead and roll 2d10 plus 5, Valeria. At least you take 10 points of slashing damage from the tentacles, but you watch as soon as the tentacles dig in, like Dr. Manhattan touching Rorschach, you just watch the Grick explode and splatter.
Thank you, Valeria.
Ridiculous amounts of gore.
No one kills my friends in my watch, except me.
Oh God!
Comforting.
Oh, that was a terrible reference.
I'm going to say that this guy is just completely off the board, but I'm going to keep track of him. There's just nothing there but snake skin and goop.
And I still take 10 points of damage, though, right?
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. God.
Okay, the Grick is going to roll a d2 to see if he follows the rock towards Leomorn or attack Rovanian. Or a d3. Leomorn is 1, Rovanian is 2, Garshadow. Sorry, Leomorn.
Oh my god, he likes rocks.
Alright, Leomorn, you watch as Droman, like with a quick sleight of hand, threw a pebble bouncing off the wall, and you watch it land next to you, and you hear, "Intern, take it from here!" And you look up as the Greg begins to slowly turn as the tentacles begin to shrill towards your direction.
Wait, what? Why me? Droman, you get back here! I'm trying to save you!
17.
Yep, that's a hit.
You take 6 points of slashing damage, and then you feel that, like a terrible noose. It starts to pull you in closer, and you start to feel the tips of the beak beginning to break the skin of your abdomen. And he's going to try to bite at you. With a 6, as you sort of like turn your small body to the side, and the beak sort of like slides against, and now there's like this weird tickling motion as the beak is right next to your skin, opening and closing rapidly. Worst date ever. Garshadow.
He growls as he bites at this thing. Did the 15 hit?
15 just hits. Garshadow bites deep into the back of this thing, and you watch as the tentacles release Landmore, and it starts to rapidly move from side to side. The tentacles in the mouth moving sort of in very defensive motions, trying to make itself look bigger and more intimidating. Zirak.
I'm gonna ready an action to catch Valeria if she falls off the wall.
Baby, come back. Okay, sounds good. Landmore.
Okay.
I've got my arms wide open.
He's singing "I'll Be There" in the background.
I can hear it like off key. Just oh god. All right. I think.
Try not to cough out blood.
I think.
Open. Yes! Yes! Rudy, give yourself a point of inspiration. That's Ken's favorite song.
What?
You get an inspiration point, man.
I think that's the first and last time I'm ever going to give anybody inspiration for a Creed song. So take it.
Alright, so feeling it release, I am going to grab the tentacle that had me, and with electricity starting to surge through me as his eyes start to glow those different colors. Oh no. Don't start what you can't finish! And I'll tighten my grip as I do Shocking Grasp.
Okay. $23 definitely hits. 6 lightning. Okay, Landmore, you watch now as you touch this object, and as the lightning surges through it, you watch as it begins to separate itself into 2 brand new.
What?
You get it good. You get it good, and you can see that it is.
Pseudopod.
It is somewhat partially dazed as you shocked it, and you can see that its movements right now are pretty.
I'll probably look to Reve and I was like, hit it now!
You gonna stay there?
I don't think I'd have a chance to move without him hitting me, huh?
You shock and grasped him, so he can't take reaction.
Oh, sweet.
That's why he's partially dazed.
So yeah, I'll yell at Ravelli to hit him now as I like duck under everything and go like 5, 10, all the way to the other wall and just press against it to catch my breath. And that's the best I'm gonna do.
Okay. Rudy.
Rudy is gonna switch in. Leomorn. She's going to just make an attack against the guy at lead.
14 is the magic number. Slicing through two of its tentacles now, you're watching as this sort of brownish, greenish blood is sort of spurting out onto the ground as it's sort of twitching but still alive and still pretty dangerous.
Vanyan, finish it.
Valian?
Valian is going to drop onto the other side. And rush up and just stab into this thing.
Okay. $22 hits. It is definitely dead.
I'm gonna make a suggestion after it dies. Maybe we should all pull in this room real quick, do a short rest, and then get the hell out of here.
I need no rest.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get out.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea in case we run into trouble on the way out.
Valeria, do you need help down?
Trouble.
Valian, give me a perception check.
I'm.
God, there's like stuff coming from the walls again.
You sort of look around as you run in, and you're sort of giving your companions the once-over, when something catches your eye. Something on Leomorn's body. A satchel.
Where did you get that? Hand that over, please. Where did you get that?
You look, and it's the satchel that Droman handed you last time, Leomorn, that Droman seemingly found in the cave. Then you sort of look at it, and you see that it is worn leather, dyed a deep green. These sort of rawhide, brown leather tassels decorating the outside, and sort of in beautiful stitched filigree in this somewhat faded yellow thread seem to be flowers, leaves, and vines. And you instantly recognize this as Sibylla's.
Oh, this? Drummond found it. He said he found it. He handed it to me just about a bit ago before all this mess.
You're watching as Drummond is trying to like stifle a cut in his midsection. He's like, I found it over there in the cave when they were like talking to the weird things.
I kind of, at first, I reach over just to grab it, Leomorn. But then I calm as I'm looking over it, kind of tracing over the stitching.
There are cut marks. There are claw marks. This thing has been ravaged.
This belonged to Sibylla. I knew she was down here.
Wait, this is hers?
Finally, a clue.
Why would it?
Wait, I didn't
come
hear
down
that.
here? That's weird.
No. You're still singing behind the wall.
Yeah, I didn't hear that exchange. I'm just down here kind of tapping my fingers, waiting.
Can I check this chest real quick while we're...
Yeah, you can see where part of the top of it was broken. You do see that there is a lock on it, however, as this thing seems to be pretty battered and broken.
Want to give this a try, Drummond?
Yeah, and he sort of comes over, still holding on to his wound a little bit.
I mean, he almost did die for it. Might as well give it a try.
Yeah. And he's going to attempt a thieves' tool check here. He definitely pops it open. It takes him a little bit, but not because of the lock skill itself, but just because of the rust. You can imagine that the moisture down here is not very good for things iron. Not to mention like the ammonia and everything that's sort of in the air and that's kind of corrosive over a long time. And he pops it up, and there seems to be a good bunch of stuff in here. He starts pulling out these small sacks and sort of setting them on the ground as he pops it open. And he kind of like, it's just copper. He also brings out this fist-sized lump of amber, and he sort of takes it over towards your candle, Rudy, and he sort of shines it over to the flame, and you can see what seems to be almost like a dragonfly trapped within. He sort of drops it into your hand, Rudy, and then he goes back to the chest. He pulls out this lump of what looks to be silver, and he kind of puts it in his hand, and he kind of looks it over, and he brings it over towards the light again, and it almost looks like a small sort of lumpy raven that he kind of has, and he sort of puts it in your hand, and he goes back, and he starts digging through more stuff. He pulls out this a very elegant wire-wrapped glass vial. The liquid in it, as we'll just say that everybody kind of starts piling in a bit, and with Valeria's light and Xerak's light, you watch as like the liquid inside this vial is this sort of deep purple, and he sort of cracks it, and he brings it up to the nose holes in his mask, and he gives it a smell, and he looks to Leomord and he says, melons, and then he puts the cork back on it. He brings out what looks to be an iron flask, and he sort of shakes it, opens up, and he smells it, and he like brings his nose back really quick and like pulls the cork, and then like coughs a little bit. Oh, it smells like sulfur.
Sulfur? Hold on, bring that to me.
And he sort of limps over a bit and kind of hands it to you, and he's sort of looking at this purple potion in his hand.
I'll like pop open a bit, take a quick sniff, and would it like help me? Would I recognize something like this?
I mean, you've definitely worked with sulfur before. You don't know if this is like some sort of liquid sulfur. I mean, you're more than welcome to take out your alchemist supplies if you have them to sort of test the liquid to see if you can surmise what it is.
Ah, crap! No, I left that on the cart.
So,
Rovanian,
he turns to you as you ask him that question. He's like, "Yeah, it's. Hold on, Rudy. Let me see that." And he sort of snatches it out of Rudy's hand. And you see this sort of, it's almost like a small-looking trinket. And it's a very roughly carved-out raven statue. Or, like, statuette. But it maybe fits in the size of his palm. It's not very big.
I look at it. I like animals in forests and such.
Sure. And he kind of hands it to you, and he just kind of sits down against the wall really quick, and just, I'll be right here.
Like a silver lumpy raven.
If somebody goes over, there's about 1,900 copper pieces in small burlap sacks that he pulled out. So,
how much of that will fit in the bag of holding?
All of them.
Okay, I'll dump it in there.
I was gonna say it's a bag of holding. It should be able to fit everything.
Just make
just put 1,900 copper pieces in 5 burlap sacks.
And I kind of call to everyone to come onto this side so we can bandage wounds and discuss what's to happen next.
Thalian, you're kind of waiting for everybody to move over and get in. You're sort of looking through the bag. A lot of the implements inside, the small wooden jars that she would keep powders and herbs and things like that have been broken. A lot of it's covered in mud. A lot of the things lay empty. Droman says to you, like, I found it on the ground, and all the stuff inside was sort of spilled out. I just kind of put back what I could. I thought maybe Leomar could find some of this stuff useful.
This is definitely the same herb craft that I would implement.
You reach down in, and in a pocket you know it's there. You sort of feel around, and you find something familiar, and you see her journal.
Before I bandage any of my own wounds, I start to read the journal real quick. At least the final pages to find out what was the last thing she wrote in there.
You sort of skim down to the last couple pages. You see signed in the 13th of Ashish, the Flowering Well. My journey to Wiskwillow was for naught. The Scale Witch Hunters turned me back. Apparently the sickness had already devoured everyone, and they didn't wish for the disease to spread further. They decided to put the town to the torch. Just more souls to pray for. I feel my heart hardening, and it frightens me. Castellum never came, and I lose more friends by the day. I will journey north, following rumors of a sickness spreading in Draystone, where another sickness has hit. Even more rumors spread of more hamlets falling ill and being put to the torch, some by the witch hunters and others by forces not yet known. After Draystone, it will be good to be back in Casper's Ferry. Then I'll take the route road to Applewillow. You turn a couple more pages to the last entry and you see the 20th of Ashish, the Flowering Well. The wasting sickness has struck Applewillow. I believe this to be spread by what seems to be the surrounding rodent population. Their droppings and tracks are evident around the food stores. I've found some strange tracks around the town, almost as if the children had been walking on their hands, but most of the children here have already succumbed. There's no laughter left here. That's the last intro, or the last entrance that you see written in the journal. The rest of the journal is in your, should be in your handouts.
After reading that, I kind of take the satchel and the journal over to Garshadow to see if he can pick up a scent.
Give me a perception check at... I think even with his advantage, I'm going to say give it to me at disadvantage.
Sometimes I really hate the way Sage Advice answers a goddamn question. The question is really freaking simple. If the party has two bards, do they benefit from Song of Wrath twice? His answer is, features that have the same name don't stack with each other. Can you just say yes or no, motherfucker, Jeremy Crawford? You piece of shit?
I had that answer before. I tweeted him and he never, and I got the same answer.
You can say yes or no, and then comma add the
I can
explanation.
cast Song of Rest twice every short to long. I don't know.
My interpretation of that is you can't have two bards playing two songs of rest at the same time, I think.
That's how I interpret it.
That's fair. That makes sense.
So
It'd be really hard to hear
Rudy
the
did
melody
his
of two
song,
anyways.
We do an epic rap battle, and you benefit from the one that you thought was better, which gives you.
Or, well,
I
in
guess
Elise's
it would
case,
fall
she
under
does
the
dance
same-
thing, so.
It would fall under the same rule as temp hit points, because temp hit points don't stack. So if you did two songs of rest, you would just utilize the one that rolled higher. And in this case, you both rolled a 2. So they were equal songs.
Yeah. GG.
Thalion, it's not so much the scent of Sibylla, but more so the overpowering smell of the sort of methane and ammonia, and just the smell of all the waste that's been kind of stewing in this mud, that as the more and more people sort of move around it, step on it, and release the sort of trapped gases in the mud that kind of bubble up, it's it's just really, really hard to sort of pick up on a scent, especially since you know that, I mean, she's almost been missing now for a month from what you can gather from all the people that you've talked to.
So there's someone of you that you love down here.
Yes. Though she has a chance. She is very skilled with nature magic. Zurak, you might actually be familiar with her type of magic. She can turn into animals also. She is a druid, and a skilled one at that.
Hopefully she's not one of these rats we killed.
No, if she turned into a rat, it looked like a normal one.
I see why you're driven then. I wish we could continue on, but I think we may have to pull back at least for a night. Maybe come back afterwards.
Merely ask if we take the route we came through so I can see where Droman picked this up from.
It shouldn't be far from here.
Very fine. Yes, sounds reasonable.
I know that this is kind of a big deal, but at the same time, those rats are out there. They could come out at any minute, and we are not able to handle them right now.
The longer you guys sit here, the more you begin to feel the aches and pains, itches from the sort of newly healed wounds. Those of you that have cast spells and that are completely tapped feel the sort of mental ache and headache setting in from being drained of pretty much your magical mana. Rovanian, you feel it in the deepness of your bones as you've exhausted all of your rage energy, and you too feel quite tired. This has been a very trying experience in a very foreign place. And from what you've surmised since you've came in here is that the rats are only getting more and more cleverer the longer you stay.
We're in their territory. They know it well, and they're wearing us down.
Valeria, Rovanian, since you two are in the front lines normally with me, here, take this. It'll help. Valeria, I'm sure you'll recognize it. I hand you... what was that leaf called? A ghost bloom leaf that'll grant you some temporary HP.
Thank you. I accept it.
So I look around at the abject weariness on all of my allies' faces, but feeling none of this weariness myself, because I still have several spell slots remaining, and being the most powerful and most intelligent wizard in the land, I will exceed that my allies need the rest, but I will definitely keep you all safe if it's necessary as we make our way out of here. And I explain that I have plenty of magic remaining as my powers and strength is inexhaustible, being of the highest intellect in the land. It is difficult to drain me of my energies.
But will you be able to heal all of us?
Healing is not my specialty, my friend, as you know. My specialty is burning things alive so that they don't hurt you in the first place. But as it was in this case, everybody ran up to the danger with Dromund, and I didn't even have a chance to get up there and help you. Maybe in the next instance, you could reserve your resources and allow me to spend mine, so that we can keep you safe. Hey, I reappeared. Awesome.
Which brings me to my next
true. You are very good at burning.
to discuss. After you pointed that out, Zurak, I do apologize with my distraction and haste being down here. I've been focused on one thing and not helping with information. That will have to change, as will our tactics down here. We should stay close and not go too far from each other, lest we were to be ambushed from many sides and separated again. those who are more skilled with ranged stuff should not go in front of our more defensive team members.
Yeah, still working on that as I'm rubbing my back.
Yes, I also feel like those of us with light should stay grouped up with ones that have trouble seeing in the dark. As I kind of hold on to my crystal that's hanging on the necklace around my neck that's lit up. Because I think only Valeria and I carry light. Well, some of us can see in the dark, some of the rest of us can't.
You, Valeria, and Rudy are the only three that can't see in the dark.
And with placing the hand on Leomorn's shoulder, and in such short spaces, let's be very careful with our aim.
He never gets to live that down. Thank you, Doug.
I'll look over to Rovania and just... I'm so sorry. I don't know where that... I never felt that type of surge before.
I guess now should be a pointer that when we see Leomorn's eyes flicker and light up like that, we should use that to our advantage and kind of pull him to the front and aiming him like a cannon.
Cannon? Oh wait, those don't exist. Oh wait, do they? I don't know.
I will volunteer to walk up front with the fighter types so that I can shield them with my magical might, if need be.
And as you offer this, I hand you the thimblewood weed that I gave you once before. That'll kind of boost some a magical attack. This might come in handy on our way out.
Oh, is this something I eat?
I think you tried it once before. Did you hand it to Leomorn to see how it worked?
I think I did. Shoot, Mark, I have too many things in my compendium here. I have no idea what... I will do that, but I don't know which one it is.
It's the one that gave you a plus to your next magical attack, but then it had that wild magic surge.
This is a separate thing that Mark's pinging me about. I would do that during this rest, what you're suggesting, Mark, but let me look through the list. I don't... Okay, as a reminder, do I remember where I don't remember where I found this.
You found this on a dead body. You were trying to share it. You were trying to share it with Thalion, but you never got the chance to.
Okay, so I will pull out a note that I found on one of the bodies. I think it was the room where there was a body in the center of the room being eaten by rats, and they all kind of ran away, right? When we entered, they got scattered, and then we got attacked by a bunch of other bigger rats. So yeah, I found this note on that body. It's coming back to me now, and it says, I'll read it aloud to the group. It says, "Rendezvous." I think that word is cleft. Cleft assist rangers will convene with us when beast is slain. Finish investigations. We meet within the fortnight. Instructions as follows, and it follows with a bunch of script that is written in Ratanese, I guess. I don't know. I can't make it out.
Ratanese?
That's what I said. Yeah, Ratanese.
And I wasn't able to find a good picture to put on there, but it is signed with a seal of a broken arrow, with a teardrop.
Can I see this letter?
Zirak, you remember that was the symbol that you saw tattooed on the ranger's arms?
I will allow you to look at the letter. I'm typing it up here in the chat real quick so you guys can all see what it's...
I just clicked show to players. Did everybody?
Oh, okay, yeah. That way they can all see it too.
Which one is it?
It's called Mysterious Note.
Is that word really cleft assist?
Cleft assist. It's written in a very terse shorthand, almost as if you get the idea, Zirak, that whoever wrote this didn't want to put too much information into the basis of it. So it's very short and kind of precise with its meanings. And you can see that following like a very nice written comment, what seems to be almost like coded lettering that doesn't really resemble a language, but more perhaps like a special code known only to maybe members of this Shadow Walker organization.
With my time with John, would I recognize this code?
You definitely recognize the writing, but as somebody that was never a full-blown Shadow Walker, you were never taught this.
If we find someone who is a full-blown Shadow Walker, perhaps they can make out this cipher.
We passed by 2 on our road that headed in this direction. They are probably convening wherever they're supposed to be meeting. If everyone is ready, we should proceed. And once we find where this was dropped, I just want to see if I notice any tracks or anything that might have been missed.
Well, Thalion, are you satisfied with our investigation into this place so far, or do you think that we need to delve further into this mystery?
I'm recognizing that it is a struggle for some right now, but no, I'm definitely satisfied. There are signs that...
Well, I clasp your shoulder with my hand and I say, I would follow you into the darkness of hell if need be, my friend. I am ready. Show me the way. Point that out.
I smile, which still feels a little hollow because of the effects. And I will start kind of climbing over this little rock pile. Oh, but I stopped right at the top. I'm like, we should stick as a group, but move quietly.
Drummond kind of climbs up next to you and goes over. He's like, here, I'll show you where I found the satchel.
Oh, did we not have Drummond roll hit die?
Yeah, it's a short rest, Mark. Drummond would have healed too, probably.
Yep, I forgot.
And add 2.
And he gets a +2 to whatever he heals.
God damn. God damn. One of the commands is not working.
Rovanian, what's your armor class since you're unarmored?
Give me a perception check, Rudy.
It's 16.
Okay, and what's your dexterity?
Dexterity is 14.
Okay, got it.
Sorry.
Is there anyone else that's unarmored in the party?
That'd be me.
Guard Shadow.
What is Garshadow's AC?
Same as Rovanian, actually, 16.
You watch as Garshadow's ears perk up, and he begins to look down this tunnel.
Just as I'm starting to eyeball the unarmored members of the party, and I look at Garshadow and I see his ears perk up, and he looks in that direction, and I motion to Thalion. Your cat seems interested in the direction behind us.
You can't hear that?
I ready my weapon, but I'm looking to see if Garshadow is more curious or more like a protective, threatening growl.
I do not hear anything, Rudy. Where is the humming coming from?
It's coming from over here. Right, Mark?
Yes.
I turn around and look over Rudy's shoulder and see if I can see what's humming.
Does it have? Is it like a continuous hum, or is it like a pulsing hum?
It's like a hum. Like someone's kind of singing to themselves.
Okay, that's
But
more than
it's
just hum.
It's very kind of quiet, definitely offbeat.
Yeah, she doesn't do this professionally. Is it something I would know?
I creep forward.
It
in front
doesn't
of
seem
Rudy.
to have like a. It doesn't seem to have like a tune you've ever heard before. It's just sounds like somebody just humming something random to them.
I creep in front of Rudy, and
Rudy.
I'm looking in front, around to see where it's coming from, which direction.
Give me
I'm
a
going
perception
to
check.
basically just follow Thalion and just. Well, I'm going to be next to him, and I'm going to be listening, and I'm just going to try and follow it with my hearing.
Both of you give me a perception check. It's getting harder now as like the footsteps are sort of squelching into the mud, but you watch as Thalion looks down this particular tunnel.
I thought we weren't going to take any more detours. What's going on over here?
I was
don't
waiting
know,
for that.
That's why we're investigating. I will go over. We'll grab Xerac, and I
Oh,
go. I
not
need the
going
light.
now?
I stop and I kind of say,
Close
"There's
those.
someone down here." Some sort of.
Hold on. Before you investigate any further, I did make a comment that I was looking around at the party and trying to find a way to help protect certain members of the party. So you can't call me over just yet. I was typing what I was doing, but Xerac kind of waves you off a bit if somebody was calling me over, and I walk over to Leomorn, and with one hand on my arcane crystal, I touch his chest with my other hand and say some words of magic and cast Mage Armor on Leomorn. Leomorn, your AC for the next 8 hours is 13 plus your Dex mod, which I'm guessing is 13, so... it's not concentration, and you can... I mean, you don't have to do anything to maintain the 13 AC.
Huh.
And, bonus to me, it recharges my Arcane Ward. Yay!
Huh, I didn't know you could pass it on to others.
Yep, it just says touch.
As long as you're a willing creature, I'll click it right now.
I really gotta reread that.
So don't put on any armor. But yeah, it's a abjuration spell, so it makes my ward get 2 hit points when I cast a first level spell.
Does that stack in any way with the barbarian perk, or separate?
No, it would replace your barbarian, your unarmored AC with 13 plus your Dex mod. So in your case, I would lower your AC by 1 if I cast this on you.
would. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked you first.
I'll rub my chest like, thank you. I did not know you could do that. I'll have to practice more once we get out of here.
This way, everyone. There's someone down here. Someone that's not a rat.
Okay, so now I turn around and pay attention to the rest of the group. Now that I'm satisfied that Leomorn is protected by my magic, I will pay attention to what you guys are investigating.
I don't know if we can assume it's not a rat. They seem to be enjoying mimicking things.
Their mimic was still rat-like, though. This
Maybe the
sounded-
voice wouldn't be, though.
Can you mimic the...
Stallion, you sort of get closer and you hear this very off-tuned song. This...
Do we hear it now that we're all closer?
Crunch, crunch. Crunch, crunch, snap.
I don't wanna.
It's the
Crunch, snap, chew.
I'm stealthily moving forward.
Oh,
Xerax, you just move right in, and then you see that there's a small rat man kind of by himself over a pile of bones, just kind of not a care in the world, just kind of humming and looking at the bones, and then he stops and he goes stiff, and then he sort of looks down and he sees you and he runs.
Drives away.
Huffs in his car and goes.
You hear a chorus of squeaks,
Oh my god.
and you watch as this little rat man kind of like dives towards the base of this tunnel and just begins to sort of dig for his life.
Up or down?
If we try to run to intercept, could we possibly grab him before he digs too deep in?
Half of his body is now embedded into the dirt.
I did call back and say that the rat scurried away.
He's up to
when
his,
they saw me.
ankles into this newly formed tunnel that he's digging.
I reach in to grab his ankles and pull him free.
Okay, go ahead and give me a athletics check
I tried to.
against this person's death. Oh, with advantage if Rovanian's helping.
Yeah, I'm helping you, so give it with advantage. Yeah. Ah.
He sort of kicks out of your hands before he turns and he starts digging. You can see his feet slowly getting away from you.
I try to get on my
as
own.
you sort of, Rovanian, you watch a stallion kind of comes back with nothing, and you just shoot your hand in there. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. You just have to beat 14. You grab a hold of his ankle and you begin to pull this sucker out, like you're noodling a catfish.
The moment Rovanian pulls him out, I want to kind of help Rovanian grab him and kind of pin him against the wall so we can interrogate him.
You pull out a very emaciated, truly pitiful-looking creature. He's not armed like the other ones. You can literally see the bones through the skin of this sort of sad creature, the size of maybe like a 7-year-old child. As you're sort of forcefully pinning it down to the ground, and you look all over its bodies at the scars and cuts of whip marks and knives and swords all over it as it's sort of trying to shy away from you. You feel it sort of squirting musk around you guys. It stinks terribly. And you see that like the tail's just sort of lashing around, and it's just trying to get away from you guys.
you speak common?
You feel it shaking, and you can hear what almost seems to be sobs.
As he's shaking and everything.
Squick, Squick, Chick's hungry, eat.
Maybe if we offer him food, he'll give information.
I actually pull out the sack of those weird what was it? Was it onyx or those
Onyx pieces?
obsidian? The obsidian pieces that they use as currency. And I kind of look them like straight in the eye. We will not hurt you if you can give us some answers. And then there's also a bonus, and I kind of shake it in front of him.
And he's sort of looking back at both of you still, as he's just kind of pressing himself up against the back of the wall. No hurt hit, Squick. Then it kind of tilts his head to the side, kind of like a puppy.
If you can help answer a few questions, we will not hurt you.
Squick, just rat slave. Squick, not know much. And you see that he kind of brings his tail up, and he's sort of holding it in both hands, and he's kind of like nervously chewing on the end of it as he's sort of trying to bow his head. And you're looking at what truly is a very beaten down creature. You notice that it's avoiding eye contact at every possible intercept as you sort of try to look, and he'll sort of move his face away like a dog that did something bad. And you can see that he's trying to make himself as small as possible.
Tell me, Squidwick, you said?
Nods his head.
Have you seen any people that look like us down here? Any that are still alive?
No alive here. Man screamers get taken below. Taken to mountain.
What mountain is this?
You guys should be able to see his name now. His name is Squickwick.
What mountain do you speak of, Squickwick?
Mountain east, top, shadow needle. We drag man things there. Leave them for woman. Woman take man things. Pay clan rat. Darkstone.
So the survivors are brought to this mountain.
Those that don't make die here, left for rat things. And he sort of points, and you're standing on what seems to be some devoured bodies of more humans, dwarves, halflings, gnomes. He sort of kind of looks away ashamed. Squickwick hungry.
To help him continue to give some answers, I hand him a ration.
What's the ration you hand him?
These guys are kind of carnivorous, so I'll grab some of the meat slab that I have remaining, which might perk like a jealous growl from Guard Shadow.
he sort of reaches it and he snatches it and he just starts eating the shit out of it.
Now, quick. Will you answer a few more questions? Can you tell us where this mountain is?
Quick, take underway. Underway near Manfang Castle. Lake up in Mountain Cave.
Manfang Castle. And as I'm kind of talking to him, I kind of look over to the others to see if... Or actually... Would I recognize this? Does this sound like... something kind of wants to... Wait. Does this sound like something I would know from here?
I mean, you definitely... Like, what do you think Manfang...
Well, it was more the lake that he mentioned that made me think of, actually, I'm thinking of two different spots, but there was that one place that Lovecraft kept pointing out.
I mean, you guys have maps in your handouts. If you need to reference it, go ahead.
How many more of your brothers and sisters are huddled down below that we haven't yet slain?
And he sort of looks, and then he kind of looks at his fingers, and you see that he begins to slowly count using his fingers. And then he'll shake his head, and then he'll start over. And you can see that he's not really getting past 5, but he kind of looks up and many.
Excellent. And is there a way out up here that's not down below? Can you lead us out?
Tunnel burrow, up to town, where Clan Rat raid and bring down Man-Thing.
When we're done questioning you, can you make an opening for us to get out? And then we will let you be out on your own. And I shake the bag of coins once more as a reward for him.
You see him sort of biting his nails and kind of looking at you nervously. You actually look and give me an insight.
I really want to ask him what would be the easiest way to just murder his entire family, but I'm not going to ask him that aloud.
Oh, sorry, I still had the advantage clicked.
What gave you advantage last time? Oh, for the athletics check. You know what? We'll just keep the 21. Why not? You're noticing that as you jingle that coin pouch in front of him, it has no incentive to him whatsoever.
Noticing that, I kind of put it away, and then I dangle another piece of meat. I'm like, food for help to escape. And if you could tell us, describe this castle by the mountain a little bit more.
Close to Manfang. Never go. Stay away. Danger bad.
Keep saying Manfang and a lake. The only thing I can think of is maybe the ruins of Castle Roy near the sunken ruins. that's lake there.
Okay, so you don't know what Manfang means. It's not really. You're racking your brain, but you just can't. You're not coming up with anything right now. Then he says, "Stay away. We stay away from the Manfang. Bring the man things up mountain to Broken Tower. Leave them there."
Broken Tower.
Shadow Dark. Needle.
I think the only tower-like structure I remember from that might have been the keep not far from here.
And you can see that he's kind of getting closer to you, Thalion, as he's speaking. And then as you sort of space out a bit to kind of recollect and think, you feel him tugging at your cloak, and then just kind of move in closer, and he just begins to kind of hide himself in your cloak.
A little surprised at that. I kind of pull him a little bit more from underneath the cloak as I'm kind of patting myself.
As you reach to touch him, you feel him visibly and viscerally recoil away from your touch. You sort of graze him in a sort of way, and he kind of drops to the ground, and he backs up towards the wall again and kind of tries to make himself as small as possible.
Okay, I think we have an idea of where we're going. Where is it? I can barely see it. Squickwick, can you dig a way up for us, and then I will give you this piece of meat.
He just, averting eye contact, just kind of nods his head.
So then with the information we got, I kind of watch to see if he can start digging this way up and kind of turn to the party.
You see that he's sort of skirting around you, and he turns the corner here, and now he sort of sees Zirak, who's somewhat in a very terse, angry mood, who I imagine glowering at this creature.
Oh yeah, I actually was toying with the idea of just having fire at my fingertips at the ready to just blast into his face the moment he does anything ratty.
And you see that he sort of twitches and kind of jumps to the side, and he's pressing himself against the wall. And you can see that he is trying to hide from your glare. And he's burying his face into the wall, and he's just trying to, like a dog that ate the bag of potato chips. He's just sort of hiding in the corner and trying to get as small as he possibly can.
His many brothers and sisters had knives to our throats a bit earlier, just a few hours ago. Maybe you guys have forgotten, but I'm sure the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and this one would probably stick a knife in your gullet as fast as he could as well, if he had the opportunity.
We're not sleeping with this one next to us like we did with the goblin. And I kind of come up behind Squickwick to kind of pat him forward. He will be our way out of here. The information he gave us may be helpful for any survivors.
And I'll step aside, allowing the party to Wait, you guys slept with the goblin? Nice, Rudy. I will still glower.
Yeah, I remember he was in
at the little rat guy as you move him past me, but I just kind of sit there tapping my foot, like, you better not betray us, or you will burn slowly. I will roast you from the toes up.
Averting his gaze still, he begins to sort of inch forward at Thalian's sort of discretion. And he gets to the stairs, he sees the lion, he instantly faints.
You said he faints?
He just drops to the ground and he's not moving.
Garshadow should go over there and lick him awake.
I kind of pick him up since I'm guessing he's very light.
It's like lifting up a child, even more so because, I mean, there's literally no muscle or fat or anything left on this poor thing's body, just sort of splotches of like bald spots where he might have mange. I mean, he smells really bad. But the closer you kind of pull him in, you can just see just the amount of wounds that's sort of covering his entire body.
I wrap some of the wounds since he's being helpful at this point, and I kind of carry him past the group before I try to wake him up.
You notice that he's kind of like, he's doing the child, like, eyes are kind of open a little bit, but they're kind of closed as he's sort of watching, and when he catches a look at the lion, he'll like go limp again. So maybe it's a survival tactic that you're picking up on, like he's trying to play possum.
Like I said, you sure this isn't human like possum instead of a rat?
I kind of motion for Garshadow to watch the rear as I move to the front.
I did. Oh, what?
Alright, you can stop playing dead. Show me the best way to dig a hole up.
One eye pops open, and then he kind of looks around and he notices that Zirak and Garshadow are not there. And he just sort of jumps down and just kind of tries to get low again, and you see that he starts making his way down the tunnel. He turns the corner and he sees the dead clan rats and the dead claw leader, and he immediately like sort of he flinches backwards, he drops on his knees, and you see him just put his forehead directly onto the ground, like he's prostrating himself in front of them.
I wait a moment, kind of. I see this is a thing for all of them down here.
He's not moving, and obviously these things are dead. But I mean, you can imagine he looks and fits the description of a slave. Like, you can imagine just how sort of like Stockholm syndromed he is, and like what this is drilled into him. Maybe perhaps you can take the fact that he didn't care for the money in your hand meant that maybe he didn't feel like it was for him, and he's not meant to have that sort of luxury. And you're really looking at the size comparison, and they are much bigger than him.
I kind of go to lift him again while he's got his head down and eyes closed to move
He
on.
is unmoving.
Quick, come on. And as I say at that time, I kind of look over my shoulder, kind of just motioning Garshadow to just growl a little to move him forward.
You move him past the bodies and you drop him. You see him skirt around the cave you guys fought the Grix in, like he's hugging the wall, as if he knows to stay away from it. And he begins to move down the small.
I forgot about Rudy.
Don't leave me.
Hey, was he just behind us?
Yeah, but she can't see in the dark, so I should stay close.
Oh, yeah, it's one of the ceiling holes.
There's your candle, Rudy.
My own.
And he sort of climbs up the wall, digging in his feet, his claws, and he gets up to the top and he starts digging and loosening the soil, and you watch as it just starts to come down and kind of plop. And after a while, you guys begin to see one of the tunnels kind of going up, and you see that it's about 20 feet from the cave floor that you guys are in up to the exposed, what looks like inside of a house that you guys are staring up at.
I'll go in and start kind of climbing up.
Give me an athletics check with a very high DC.
Is there light coming down?
There is no light coming down. You guys have been down here for a while. You sort of jump up, you dig your hands in the tunnel, and you try to pull yourself out, and the muddy walls give when you fall back down.
Can I tie a rope around my waist and try myself? Like, let the rope hang down? I have a 50-foot rope in my bag.
How high is it?
I think
You
that
watch
the side walls might be unscalable, my friends, as the ground is not sturdy there. Perhaps our rat can tell us how he scurries up the side of these walls.
You see him sort of tug at the rope a little bit, and then he kind of puts it in his mouth, and you see with almost minimal effort this little rat begin to climb up these muddy walls, sticking in its long clawed fingers and its clawed toes.
You took my rope?
And it's sort of climbing up, and you watch as he's bringing the rope up through the tunnel.
Okay, good.
How high is it?
20 feet up.
Ooh, row. Wait till he gets it about 18 feet and then tug the rope really hard so he comes crashing back down.
Sirach!
No, wait a little longer.
I chuckle a little under my breath as I make that suggestion.
After about a minute, as you look up, the rat is gone. The rope is still there. And you watch as more slack is kind of being pulled up.
I'll hold on to the far end, just make sure that, it doesn't get pulled away from us.
After a while, you watch as a face looks over and then flinches back, and then a small rat hand kind of looks over and waves.
Okay, I'll try climbing. See if I can climb.
Rudy's gonna take 2 steps and she's just gonna jump up there because she can.
You get up
You
there.
can jump 20 feet?
I have special boots that triple my jump.
I will wait for you all to go up first, because I'm gonna have to tie this end around Gar's shadow, and we'll have to pull him up.
Okay, I'll go up.
Valeria, you should go up next after him. I know underground here has been heavy on you.
Rovanian, you get up and you see that Squickwick is kind of against the wall as you crest, and he's sort of hiding in the corner again. And you look at the center mast of one of the larger, what seems to be yeoman's houses that multiple families would share. Tied to one of the large center posts is the most atrocious knot that you've ever seen in your life. You can imagine that trying to untie this is going to be like solving a very hard puzzle. And you can imagine that probably 15 feet of your rope has been used and destroyed with these knots.
Okay. I'm going to also hold the rope up there to brace it as well, so people can have an easier time coming up. Make sure that's
one by one, you guys begin to go up. Thalion stays down, ties it onto Gar's shadow, and again, there's just that pitiful yowl as he begins to get lifted up off of the ground like cats do, before he sort of reaches his paws up and he begins to use his claws and his strength to kind of squish through the tunnel with the aid of Rovanian pulling until he gets up and begins to shake all the mud and grunk, showering everybody in that nasty stuff as he sort of gets all that stuff off his body and kind of goes over and sits. You drop the rope, you pull up. Thalion, this probably took a total of 20 to 25 minutes to do, as you guys were in quite a hurry to get down. And now you guys find yourself back up into the surface. The smell of musty odors and dust kind of greet your noses at first before a breeze begins to bring in fresh air to your lungs in what seems to have been forever.
Okay, so I'll do my best to untie the rope, so you say I only get 40 feet or 35 feet left of it? I only get like 35 to 40 feet of my rope back.
Yeah. It was a pretty mangled knot. It looks like he just kept tying knot upon knot upon knot upon knot. And it's like, well, where am I going to cut this thing to get my fucking rope back?
Can I just say 40? Make it nice.
40 feet sounds good.
Okay.
I'm going to approach Squidwick, and as promised, I hand him some more meat for the aid.
And you can see that you kind of move closer to him, and he kind of backs away. And you sort of keep coming with the proffer, and you see that he's sort of circling around, just kind of trying to stay away. You can imagine that even though he has this humanoid shape, you can imagine that his animal instincts are still kind of there, and there's a lot of enmity and kind of anger radiating at some of the people in this group that he can definitely feel. And he's just sort of slinking his way back almost closer to the hole. Although very slowly and very calculated steps, you can tell that he's somebody that's used to sort of trying to move his way around much stronger people.
Do you not wish to be free from such harsh beatings and treatment?
Man thing, hit kill. And he sort of looks at Zirak, who's just sort of giving him like the dirtiest look at him. And he's just kind of like trying to stay away. And he's just sort of circling towards the hole. He kind of has the feeling like he's not.
I kind of cover the side of the others as best as I can, and then just kind of kneel down to him. You mentioned something else in that tower, or that keep where the survivors were brought. Is the one commanding the others not of your kind?
Like you, man thing. And he sort of flinches back.
Can you describe this man thing?
White hair. Then he just man thing, white
hair. Did his eyes give off a weird glow? Does he use magic?
Squick not know. Squick drag cage.
I kind of point, now that we're on the kind of up on the surface, I kind of point towards this direction of Hellboard Keep, and I'm like, that way?
He shakes his head. He doesn't know. I mean, he told you that he travels through the underway. So you can imagine that he doesn't travel on the surface.
Hmm.
Kind of look to the others. Man, I probably would have been smart to follow his path to the place, but I don't think anyone can stay down there any longer.
Well, so we're outside now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What time of day is it, Mark? Is it nighttime? Because I feel like if we've been underground for
you guys,
we've been underground for most of the day.
You guys have spent the whole day down there. It is a cool, crisp night. It feels even more so to those of you besides Zirak, who has his own self-heating capabilities, but being down in the humidity and the mustiness of that cave and then coming back here is almost a chill, but it's a good chill. It's like diving into a cold, refreshing lake or river. Like, it just feels good.
Well, I feel like the group itself would be physically exhausted.
Incredibly exhausted.
Yeah, like if we pushed on anywhere, we would be dragging ourselves to wherever that place would be.
Don't get me wrong, I had no intention of making us go right this minute. I know we need a...
You guys hear this clop, 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 and the front door kind of burst open, and you guys watch as Troy kind of pushes his way in. Clop, clop, and Squidquick instantly faints to the ground unmoved.
I'm so sorry, Troy. I missed you so much. And she
You
goes
can imagine the noise of your guys' voices have kind of brought the horses over.
Oh, I'm looking for Ophelia. Is Ophelia out there?
She is looking quite dainty and beautiful, standing out in the moonlight.
Yay! I will go dig an apple out of her satchel and give it to her.
She's a hard to get kind of girl, and you know this.
They always are. They always are.
How's Noble Hearts and our other horse next to the cart?
I mean, you set the brakes on the cart, so they're still there, just kind of chilling. They definitely look irritated, and you'd know that standing idle, not being able to lay down or rest, being strapped into a wagon for an entire day, they're not really digging it at the moment. But you know, oh, it's Kaiju Ophelia.
I guess we could use a long rest. We did find some items we should probably see if any of them will be helpful.
I'll probably go up next to Squidquick and like check to see if he's like, is he like out or is he just faking it?
You can see that he's clearly breathing, and the closer you get, you look and you can see his eyes slightly opening. You can imagine that the horse, like, budging through the door scared the living bejesus out of him, and he just fell back into his natural, like, oh, I'm dead, leave me.
I look over at Thalion and kind of nod knowingly of what he's going to be asking of me while I take a deep breath and prepare for many hours of ritual casting if it's necessary to do so tonight.
It's very necessary.
Yeah,
I know. You can either protect us down there, or identify the stuff up here. I choose the left.
Are we identifying stuff?
I am preparing myself for some rituals of identify by getting ready for it.
All right.
That does remind me.
So go ahead and throw the things on the chat there that you want me to identify, and I'll start. I'll just post the spell card, and I will do this to any items that people need identified. But remember, it takes 10 minutes for each casting. So if you guys, that's like a gold piece, a casting. I think I should start charging you guys. I'll let you get away with it for free this time, but it's gonna start having a cost.
Is Thalion still nearby Squidquick and I?
Yes, I am.
I'll probably look over at Squidquick real quick. Look over to Thalion. He might be more helpful if he's with us.
Out of the corner of your eye, Leomorn, watches one of his hands reaches out, digs into the ground, and he's slowly pulling himself towards the hole, but he's still in his laying down fainted position. He's trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. He's just trying to move away.
I'll like look over a bit and like lightly like slap his hand a little. It's like, oh, stop that.
He instantly
one thing I want to point out is a little bit of role play for the group. When we get out into the clear air, I resummon Moonlight to my side because Identify not only costs the pearl that I have saved, it doesn't use the pearl, but it also costs an owl feather. So every time I identify something, I pluck a feather off of Moonlight, and Moonlight screeches, and I just kind of glower at whoever needs me to identify something. Like, you see the pain I have to put my familiar through for you?
You guys are watching as Moonlight is just sort of nuzzling his faces into Zirak's neck.
As we see the long line of items.
Hey, Valeria, you're trying to sort of sit down and rest, but Troy is just sort of nibbling and muffling at your hair and like pushing your head. He wants attention.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'll
blame Thalion.
I'll
You
look
would've
over
let
to
us leave.
Thalion. Well, he has been pretty helpful. You think we should, I don't know, maybe keep him around? I mean, it's obvious he's not being treated well down there anyway.
That's true, but it's gonna be hard keeping an eye on him. Maybe while you're going through some of the potions, he can just sit by you.
Well, I did say an extra helping pair of hands could help me. The more hands I have, the faster I can work through things.
And there is one potion that wasn't handed to you yet. I pull out of the bag of holding a clay flask containing pinkberry scented liquid.
Why on earth did you find this?
It was in one of the chests.
So let's see. So we have those potions with the symbols on them, a flask full of sulfur, and this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I definitely have my work cut out for me this time, don't I?
Yeah, something tells me we'll have a pretty busy day again tomorrow. And I leave Squick and Leomorn's care, since Garshadow will scare him anyways. But I go up to Rovanian if he's not right next to any of the others. Rovanian, maybe once everyone's sitting down during one of the watches, I'd wish to speak to you more about the one you serve.
Certainly.
I did not know Rudy was terrified of that, but I'll keep that in mind. Zirak, you go through and you identify the gauntlet. I'm just going to show it to everybody.
That's pretty good, actually.
So you have found Iron Brawlers.
I think, where is Squick anyway? Is he still playing dead somewhere?
He rolled away after you slapped his hand, and he is like shaking, terrified in the corner because you hit him. So,
God, look, what's your name?
think of a dog during 4th of July that's really scared of fireworks. That's kind of what he's doing at the moment.
Oh God, I know that one. Okay. Like what is your name?
Squick.
Squick. I don't like that name. Short, to the point.
Was the statue or anything else magical?
I'm waiting to see what Zirak says he's...
I'll like walk up and offer my.
Sorry, I was dishing up my dinner. Okay, so
no worries.
No problem.
So I will look. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll tell you what I found out about the gauntlets when you're done there.
All right, sorry. I'll offer my gloved hand to him. It's like, look, I'm sorry. All right, that looked a little ridiculous, but maybe you can help me. You help me, I help you. Fair trade, right?
Was that to me?
Not.
Oh, that's to the rat.
Not know what speak, he says as you sort of slave do all thing.
My boy, trust me on this. I believe as long as you're with us, you're a slave no more.
Droman's intern has an assistant.
You kind of hear Droman from the side.
Assistant must be slave of Drummond.
He's on your payroll, intern.
Oi!
Slave is a very loose term here because he doesn't have any freedom and he does what the fuck we tell us to do. So he kind of is trading one master for another.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to say. He's not exactly a free slave.
He is a broken toy right now. Leomorn. Like, you could tell him to stab himself and he might do it.
I was afraid of that.
Like, there's a very heavy indoctrination that's kind of gone on into this. I mean, he was prostrating himself in front of 2 dead bodies of rats that ranked higher than him in their society. Even though they're dead, he was face down as low into the dirt as he possibly could. So there's not a lot of free will in his system at the moment.
I'll still offer my hand to him. It's okay.
You move your hand out towards him, and he flinches away. Now that the closer you are, you see like the whip marks, the stab wounds, and the slices that dot every inch of his body almost.
You were treated very poorly down there, weren't you?
Just quick, obey.
I'll make a fist on the other hand. Just trust me. This brings back a lot of bad memories. But trust me on this. I won't hurt you.
Give me a persuasion check. You see him look up at you for the first time with eye contact. And he kind of gets up on his knees, still staying low. He sort of inches towards you in the same manner that he kind of inched towards Thalion at the beginning. And he sort of reaches up and he grabs onto your robe. And he's just kind of holding it with his head down.
Easy there. Oh, come on. You don't need to look with your head down.
And you see him lift his head up again, and then he sees Xerac, and then he puts his head down.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's actually a nice fellow once you get past a lot of things. But
he's the shy child now, so he's kind of burying his face in his mother's dress at the moment. He's just sort of hiding, and he's sort of grasping at your robe a little bit. You feel a lot of nervous energy. But it's a step towards the positive. And then, what do you plan on doing?
Well, first I'm gonna lead him over to the car and come now. Let's.
Okay, and he'll follow you out. Damn it.
Let's get you some rest. Let's get you some rest, and you just sit down and relax.
Okay, Xerac, what do you do now?
Sorry, laughing at my own joke there.
I saw that.
I will turn the gauntlets over in my hand after the 11 minutes, where my eyes kind of my roll back into the back of my head, so you can only see the whites of my eyes as I examine these items and the weave that flows through them. And I turn them over and hand them back to Thalion after several minutes of inspecting them in this manner, and say that 1 for each gauntlet. You can spend energy from them to empower them while you wear them on your hands. As you become attuned to them, they will make your unarmed strikes, your gloved strikes, more powerful than even the best fighter in the ring. Even so powerful that they would be as strong as a spell. And you can do this once for each glove. And your strikes will remain empowered for a short while.
Interesting.
And their power restores at dawn each day.
These would definitely come in handy for, well, I believe Rovanian and I are the ones with the greater strength. Rovanian,
perhaps you could fasten them onto Garshadow's front paws.
Believe it or not, I kind of thought about that, but I didn't think it would work that way.
I would take away 10,000 experience points for animal cruelty.
That's pretty funny.
I was actually thinking more of a modified to enhance his claw.
Garshadow can't have unarmed strikes. Garshadow is always armed.
I don't think we need Lion-O in the game now.
Who do you think I kind of used to help build this character?
I had a hunch.
Is that why Thalion runs around in his underwear all the time?
What are you talking about?
So is the new rat boy that we just got? Is that Snarf?
No, don't you dare!
Because I always wanted to murder this.
Oh god, he would be a Snarf, but a dumber version.
No, it is Squidward, and he is now Leomorn's adoptive son.
Yep, makes sense.
We do not
Looks
put
like you
anyone
got yourself a very
next to
unreliable
Snarf.
partner there, Lemon.
Carla, the less you know about Snarf, the better. Consider it a blessing.
He's not so bad in the newer version. Plus, Matt Mercer was the... Oh, wait, no, Matt Mercer was the voice of Tigra.
Nobody puts Squickwick in a corner. Alright, what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm gonna hand the Silver Raven to Zarek and ask if it's okay if he hurts it out one more time.
Oh, I wasn't sure if he even went through all the other ones I posted.
10 minutes go by, and Zerak, you discover that this little raven is...
Mark, am I identifying something new now?
Yes. You just identified this.
As I pluck another owl feather out of Moonlight's wing, and Moonlight kind of pecks me when I do it. But I pull up the bird figurine and toss it around in my hands, and when I am done, I actually kind of nod my head in that this is a fantastic item. The Raven figurine can become a true Raven for up to 12 hours. And it becomes like a familiar. And Moonlight gives me a dirty look when I say that, and I say, well, not quite as excellent as a true familiar, but for a short period of time, it can do some of the same things that Moonlight is capable of.
Oh, that sounds impressive. Thank you.
You can use it mostly. Ravens are good for delivering messages to faraway places. So it's possible to use this to deliver a message. I think it's Animal Messenger is what it can.
Yeah, it's Animal Messenger at the bottom.
Okay, so you can make the Raven fly somewhere and talk to whoever you want, and it can deliver a message. However, it's not as powerful as the spell itself, because the spell lasts for 12 hours, while as the figurine only lasts for 12. Or 24 hours, the figurine only lasts for 12. So you can only send the message up to 12 hours away as the crow flies, as you might say.
And it'll be stuck wherever it lands.
Yeah, at which point it would turn back into a figurine and sit there for 2 days before it could be used again.
Okay, you hand that back to Rovanian.
I did have 3 other items we found out of that chest, and I kind of present the rolled fur that was daubed with charcoal symbols, the gold statue of a lady, and the bolts of brilliant emerald silk.
I think while Xerak's doing that, I will, after I get this quick situated, I'll dig out my alchemist supplies and make a little setup. And the first thing I want to work on is the potions with the purity marks on them.
You begin to take out your alchemical set, kind of set your sulfur burners on fire, getting everything going. You start heating up the liquid, and you sort of start to identify it using your alchemical chart. And you find that the small amount of liquid that you found in the porcelain balls with the purity on it, those are elixirs of health.
Huh. Fascinating. I'll quickly cork the one I used for the sample, and I'll set that aside. And I think once I figure that one out, I'll clean it all up, and I'll try to figure out the sulfur one, which I probably guess would be very strong smelling.
Xerak, you use you pick up the sort of rolled fur with the charcoal daubings, and you read what seems to be a sort of spell, though in a quite different sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Different wording than the sort of spells that you recite. Things that it speaks more to nature and other things the way you read it. It is sort of written in Elvish, and you can see that this is seems to be a spell scroll daubed in a very tribal sort of way onto this fur, and it's a spell for protecting one against certain energies.
Excellent.
You kind of throw that down really quick, and you pick up the statue, like God damn it, and you pick up the statue and you pulse your identify on it, and you're like, that's just a fucking statue, it's not magical at all. And you grab the silk, and you're like, this is just a bolt of cloth.
Excellent. Okay, I will roll up the spell scroll and put it in my belongings, as I tell the party that I think it might be best used by myself, as it is a protection spell. And that's kind of what I do as an abjuration wizard. I protect. So if you all don't mind. Also, Mark, if it's a spell that I could add to my spell book, I'd like to do so.
The spell on it is protection from energy.
Okay. So I will look that up and see how much it costs and if I have the right stuff to copy it, and then I can. It'll go away because it'll be in my spell book.
Protection from energy is a 3rd level spell.
I can cast those, so I could add it to my spell book. Let me, I'll look it up. Cool. If it's an abjuration spell, I can even do it for cheap.
You guys are super duper close to treasure number 4. It's kind of sad you guys didn't get to.
Well, now I want to know what was in it.
Oh, it was a mimic.
Oh, thank God.
Would have been awesome. Okay, so what else do we got here? So the gold statue is just a gold statue. The bolt of silk cloth is just a bolt of very fine silk cloth. You can imagine that they're probably worse than coin, and perhaps they were taken and looted from some of the trade merchants that used to ply their trade out here.
Okay. We'll sell this for the group, along with those 4.
What else are you doing there, Leomorn? You said you were studying the sulfur one.
Yeah.
So you smell it again, and it smells strongly of sulfur, but the liquid that comes out of it is this very, almost rosé wine pink. It's very clear and very pure, just from the way that it kind of glistens as you sort of pull it in to one of your testing vials. And after a short while, you figure that this is a potion of fire resistance.
I'll look over the results of that. Okay. I'll look around the party and see who would benefit this more exactly. Not Zeriak. He is the source of the flame. What else? I must decipher that later and cap that one. Set it next to the healing potion. And going to work on, I think the last one was the one Droman gave me. Did Droman give me that?
It was a small vial with a very fine wire wrapping, corked, and inside is this sort of deep purple liquid that he said that smelled like melons. And you begin to sort of go through it, and it is a potion of greater healing.
Oh, this would be much beneficial for somebody. I'll quickly cork that and send it to the other 2. And I'll probably call out Thalion, Rovania, anyone. I made some good discoveries.
What did you discover?
Droman kind of walks up. Where's my potion?
It's like, hey, wait a minute.
Give it back, intern. Don't push your luck.
Oh, please. Just let me tell you. So, with the studies I've made, the purple one here, which smells like melons, very fine smell, actually. I'm surprised. This could be like a greater healing potion. Obviously, much stronger than anything we have currently. Yes, and I'll put that down. Bring up the flask of sulfur, and this, despite the smell.
What was the first one? Sorry, I was getting.
I did the purple vial one.
Oh yeah, Droman would grab that.
Is it like that? That is the greater healing potion. This one here, and I'll hold up the flask. Well, it strongly smells of sulfur. There is a good reason. This is for anyone who, I guess, whoever drinks it gets a little bit more stronger against the flame, so to speak.
sure that might be handy in certain situations.
So like a fire resistant.
Yes, actually. I don't quite remember how long it lasts, but I'm pretty sure if you could stomach the smell, I'm pretty sure you could stomach the taste. And then finally, I'll put the flask down, take out the one with the symbol. These, the ones that have the purity symbol on them. From my best estimate, these are health potions. I thought the symbol would be like a fake thing or something, but I guess the symbol's made real here.
Elixirs of health, not health potions?
Elixirs of health.
They look like they could be. If I had known about this sooner, I probably would have passed them out for all of us, but my supplies are up here, and now that we know better, we now know these could be effective.
How many of them do we have?
I don't know. I was given this one by Rovanian. I know there was more, though.
Oh, that's right. I had them in the bag of holding, and we handed you one to figure out what they were.
Should be 3 total.
Okay.
So, we did find something good down there, which will definitely help us in the long run.
Yes.
Although, unfortunately, these are all one-shots, so unless we find a way to replicate them, I don't think we'll be able to use them again afterwards.
Well, I can craft things with herbs to do similar things. Maybe we should hand one of those to... one to Rovanian, one to Zerak, and maybe you hold it to the other one.
It should suffice.
It's pretty gross, Valeria. Instead of fingers now, they've sort of wilted and shrunk to almost like 3-inch long skin tags. They're nasty.
Oh, that's right.
It is unsightly.
I only cured him, but I didn't get rid of the extra appendages.
And you even gave him your hand.
I know!
So at this
It was only one of my hands that was affected. I could have grabbed her hand with the other hand.
Zerak totally would have did it with the infected hand.
Maybe.
Just to watch her foil and squirm and go, ugh, really? You're such an ass.
So Thalion at this point would he's gonna go to crafting the Steelbloom salve, but he's first going to go speak with Rovanian while everyone is busy with their other things.
Chris had to log off, so Rovanian's going to tell you, not now. I can barely think straight. My mind feels foggy. I need to rest.
Very well then. Tomorrow. So then Thalion will use the rest
Who
of
had
this.
the a clay flask containing pink berry-scented liquid, Leomorn, that Thalion gave you after about 30 minutes or so, with all your vials and your alembics and everything like that. You believe this to be a potion of vitality.
Ooh, very interesting.
Actually, give me a alchemist supplies check with your intelligence off your sheet, and this will tell me how long this took.
All right, just straight intelligence.
No, you should have a thing on your character sheet and tools. It'll say alchemist kit or alchemist supplies, go ahead and click on that, and then it'll ask you what you want to use, and then make sure it says intelligence, and then it should roll it for you.
Okay. Oh, wait, there it is.
Black walnut oil is something that you guys, that was given to you by Elise, that she bought in Halanon when you guys were still near the foundry. Actually, at the one place where she told, you get all these potions sort of analyzed and documented within the course of like 3 hours, Leomorn. You're a man possessed, finally away from death and being eaten by things. Like you're kind of in your zone right now. Like this is what you do. This is what you feel comfortable doing. This is what you know the best, and you're relishing this opportunity to do something academic instead of being feasted upon by monsters. And we'll say that you guys also found 4 mismatched glass vials sealed with wax containing a thick, honey-scented green liquid. I don't know who has those. If nobody has that on their sheet, then they don't exist.
Checking the Word documents, I was writing things on there.
I don't have them listed on my sheet, so I know I don't have them. But that's why I'm asking which potion you guys are planning to give to me, because I write everything down on my sheet. Because I can only carry so much weight. Like, literally, you can give me a potion, and it might make me overweight.
I have them. They were put in the bag of holding.
Bag of holding.
Those are 4 regular healing potions.
I could use one of those.
I hand it to you.
Thank you. That puts me back at the weight I was before I spent my healing potion last time.
And then I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I made some handouts for you guys concerning the tools that you are proficient with. If you look at them, you'll see that they allow you, I think I still need to do Rudy's maybe. But if you look at them and you're proficient with tools, it tells you like what kind of checks you can make using those tools. Like herbalism kit use examples kind of thing. So if you want to try to find something out, perhaps maybe the tools can come more into play and kind of help you with these checks since you are proficient with them.
I'm pretty sure that people just see me just like hands flying everywhere, almost like a little dance as he's like going from vial to vial. And
after creating the one salve I can make in the night, I'd probably just circle around the group, making sure the area we're camping down at is secure.
I mean, you guys are sitting on top of a rat warren with known tunnels going up to the surface. I don't know if that makes you feel secure or not.
I just let everyone know I'll take first watch and see who wants to.
Technically, Thalion, you are ineligible to take a watch because you used your 2 hours of light duty to make your salve. You need 6 hours of rest, according to the long rest rules, to gain the full benefits of a full rest.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mark, I'm actually going to need 9 hours because I spent, maybe 10, because I spent the first hour doing Identify, 3 hours studying that spell, and then I would sleep for 6 hours. So I'm sleeping for full 10 hours. Or I'm resting.
You can take a watch and then sleep in like Xerac if you want. But that's going to put strain on like everybody else to kind of have to wake up and take a watch. Because you need 6 full hours of rest according to the long rest rules. Your light activity can only be about 2 hours worth of stuff.
We have enough people in the group that we should be able to just.
I could ritually cast alarm around us before I fall asleep to help with. That's what I do for watch. I don't need to stay awake. You guys let me sleep. My spell will keep us safe.
Okay. Do you guys agree?
Well, there's no other option.
Well, there's other options. Not everyone did the activity.
We can still have a watch rotation. I'm just saying the spell will help.
First watch.
We'll say that you guys work it out. Everybody gets their things. Those of you that aren't making anything, you guys go ahead and sort of start tallying off the watches. Zirek makes his spell and falls asleep. Tired. You guys are exhausted. And the snoring says it all. Like, you guys are beat down. Sleep is very fast. However, I do need Rudy, Valeria, Garshadow, Thalion, and Leomorn to give me Constitution saving throws, please.
Huh.
Okay. Morning comes. You wish and hope for sunlight, but there's not much sunlight to be had. It's just whatever gray light is kind of coming through the constant cloudy skies here in the Barrowlands. Garshadow and Thalion. You hear Garshadow kind of yowl in discomfort. You're moving and you're very achy. Rudy, you sort of wipe your eyes as you wake up, and you see on your hands as you take them away that there's blood. Leomorn, you feel sores opened up on your neck. Thalion, you start to do that too. All of you guys have 2 levels of exhaustion, and you take 6 points of poison damage.
The whole party, or just those that stayed awake?
Just those ones, because they're the ones that failed a key Constitution save down in the tunnels. Valeria, you're stiff. You do feel tired. You have 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Thalion is going to, because I didn't know if I was afflicted, but I recognized something similar with Rovanian. Hold on, I forget which one I used to help him.
You remember that the one you gave Rovanian didn't work. Something else was used on Rovanian to make him feel. But I mean, you guys wake up in sweat-drenched clothes, sticking to your body. Again, some of you have open, weeping, pussy sores on your bodies, and I mean, Rudy has taken the worst of it, and you can see that there's some blood coming out of her ear a little bit, where she was laying down on her side, and you can see where there's some blood kind of weeping from the corner of her eyes, she has sores opened up on her neck. You guys look pretty sick.
Coffee. I need coffee. Does anyone have coffee?
Thalion, since you found the pouch that belonged to your friend, are you of the assumption that she just, or your friend just passed through the tunnels down below, or that they are perhaps a guest of the rats?
I believe she might have been brought with the survivors to this keep that Squidwick had mentioned.
Okay. So we should... I mean, obviously we're gonna get away from this town where the plague is, but we could go to this keep. I think we don't have a paladin in the party. I think lesser restoration. I do have that elixir of health.
Lesser restoration does cure a disease or one such afflicting thing, such as a poisoned condition, stuff like that. Thalion, however, I do need another Constitution saving throw for Garshadow, because he has the double heebie-jeeb.
Double?
Okay, I can only do this 4 times, so...
Okay, go ahead and roll a d6 for me. His max hit points lowers from 30 to 26.
Who else is feeling the effects of this sickness?
You're walking around and looking, and you see that it is Leomorn, Thalion, Garshadow, Valeria, and Rudy. Though Valeria, she looks to be doing better, but you can see that she's still somewhat sick. But you're looking at Thalion and Rudy, and now Garshadow. They seem to be taking the worst of it. They look really bad. They look gaunt and sallow. Thalion, you immediately remember like the last entrance into the diary of Sibylla. Something about a wasting sickness.
Since Thalion and I have grown pretty close over the course of the adventure, and we've also both been dead, I will give Thalion my elixir of health and tell him that he should drink that.
I accept it and will drink it, and for Garshadow, since I can only do this for him, I'm going to use my Beast Companion's version of a lesser restoration. Though, that doesn't change the hit point issue, does it?
He's currently suffering from 2 different diseases. One from a failed save against a Skaven, and then one from a failed save against a giant diseased rat.
Am I gonna have to cast it twice?
You're gonna have to cast it twice. He's afflicted by 2 diseases, and it's ravaging his body.
Okay, I cast it twice. I'm down 2 of my animal companion spells.
You instantly feel revitalized, better. His sort of like fast-paced breathing, and you can see like his chest going up and down, and his heartbeat is racing. He feels hot to the touch, but you're able to sort of pump in your magic into his body, and he relaxes. However, he cannot gain his max hit points back until another long rest. However, Thalion, you still have 2 points of exhaustion, the same as him, as it only cured the disease, but it did not take away the tired feeling that you currently have. And if I believe on your sheets, you guys should have exhaustion trackers on your player character sheets.
Yeah, there's a exhaustion level underneath your hit dice. You can change that level to level 2, and then it'll put the effect on there for you.
I don't have that on mine.
I'll quickly add it. Dalian, I just put your... I thought I did this already, but I think I did it to Group B.
Ah, there it is.
Also, you guys pay attention to the fact that when you full rest, you do not get all of the hit dice back that you spent the previous day. You only get half of your level back in hit dice. So I ended up spending 4 hit dice yesterday, so after a full rest, I have 3 now out of 5 total.
Hey, Mark, how many herbs
Yes.
were in the Sibylla's sack?
None. Everything was spilled out onto the ground as if it was been looted over. Like, you can imagine that perhaps some of the Skaven went through it, maybe perhaps looking for certain things, which is why Droman found it on the ground, contents kind of scattered. Most of the things in the vials and jars kind of broken out and kind of scattered into the mud. Which is why the one surviving thing was her journal that she keeps in a sort of hidden pocket, which only you know about.
Okay.
I believe Zirak made his save.
Yeah, I was the con. I think I made every con save while we were down there, even against that poison gas stuff.
Yeah,
I was
the
still
poison
taking
gas
half
one.
damage.
The big poison gas one. You used your inspiration and I think crit it.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
And then even the small vials, I was making the save, but taking half damage from that anyway. But I was yeah, I think Zarak was the picture of health with his 10 constitution down there in the rats warren. 10 con, 7 strength. I do push-ups every morning. I'm good.
So, I mean, you guys could imagine you guys were down there with these things for a day. And waking up in the morning, this was how severe your symptoms were. So you can only imagine if this disease, this plague, is sort of spreading through all these small hamlets, that you can imagine why, like, the population appears being devastated. You guys do begin to move, thankful that you get to ride in a wagon and or a horse to sort of keep the tiredness from having to walk out of your, just the aches and the pains in your joints and your muscles. It is a welcomed feeling once you guys sort of get up and get going and really begin to put Apple Willow behind you and the sort of darkness that lies below it. Drummond just kind of walks up and, so where are we going?
I believe we're heading towards Hellborn Peak. I think that's what Squicklet was describing. Which may take us to the ruins of Sitgard.
I don't know if we have the supplies for this.
said east, Valeria? He never actually mentioned west, east, north, or anything like that.
I think he only knew the direction underground, not above.
Yeah, he knew the way underground, but he didn't say like east or anything. Did he, Mark? Did I miss that?
You vehemently believe that he didn't say any direction. Valeria vehemently believes that.
He is still sitting here with us. Well, I'm driving the cart, so I kind of lean back. I'm like, Leomorn, ask him to describe the place again, please.
Right. Squickwick. Do you happen to know what this place looked like?
You kind of look and you see that he's kind of made like his own little like in a very like E.T. hiding under blankets kind of in a corner. You see his like his nuzzle kind of pop out. And he just shakes his head no. Valeria, who did you cast Lesser Restoration on?
On Rudy.
Just on Rudy?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why I asked if
Yeah,
Leomorn needed it too.
Leomorn feels like shit. He's still coughing. Still quite contagious.
Lisa's gonna use Lesser Restoration on him too. At least not spread the ick.
That should be everybody should be cured of the diseases, yet still have the exhaustion.
Thank you. I felt like I got ran over by a cart. Still does. Oh, that's my back. That's my back. I'm just gonna sit right here. Yep.
Squickwick not staying up top. Squickwick down underway.
So you have no idea what this place looks like?
Tower break up mountain. Top. Needle. South of Manfang. Stay away. Danger.
I'll probably lean over. Did you get all that, Thalion?
What was it he said? He said south of Man-Thing?
Yes. Stay south of Manfang Mountains. Cold Lake top.
Cold Lake.
Follow trail. Cage track.
Follow trail. May need to look at the map. I'll probably look over Squickwood's like, are you sure you're comfortable like that?
Yes. And he kind of nuzzles into the blankets a little bit.
Oh dear.
Okay, so Man-Fang, the way he's describing it, I almost think that's how he's describing the mountains. And I kind of lean over, I'm like, Squickwick, you mean the mountains are Man-Fang?
No, Manfang.
Perhaps the ruins look like fangs standing up out of the standing up on the foothills of the mountains.
He shakes his head no. Man Fang bite drink.
Wait, Man Fang what?
Man Fang bite drink.
Bite.
Kill strike. Scare Squickwick. Keep back. Stay away. Not go close to Man Fang.
Could he be talking about, like, werewolves?
Oh.
They can't seriously be any more like that here, right?
Maybe.
Man Fang bite
Or-
drink. Bad.
Right, drink.
Vampires.
Bite drink.
Vampires.
Vampire.
Bite drink.
Yeah.
Man Fang.
Yeah.
Okay. Scary
I
shit.
get.
Oh no, not vampires. Anything but that.
Castle Man Fang. Up top. Mountain. Stay away.
So there are vampires up the mountain in the castle?
Take
Ugh.
man things in cage.
Oh.
Up tunnel. Up lake. Top. Mountain.
You don't think he's
East,
talking
east.
about the beast men, do you?
East. Broken tower. Needle.
Broken tower.
White hair man thing.
Oh, the little rat has piqued my curiosity because I'm beginning to think that it's not vampires, it's something else. You said white, they have white hair?
White hair man thing. Broken tower. Top. Needle. Man
Do
Fang.
those white hairs have red eyes?
Castle. Away from Needle.
So, white hair.
Skaven,
red eyes.
stay back. Stay away from Man Fang. Man Fang wants to steal man things in cage. Bite drink.
Drow?
Drow
No.
wouldn't exactly drink from men.
No, but they do have red eyes and white hair, but they also
Valiant,
have
do
dark
you
hair.
have
I don't know.
do you have any knowledge of what might terrorize the mountain peaks of off to the west?
Yeah. He points towards Elise inside the wagon. Man thing. White hair.
Wait, a tiefling?
Man thing. White
No,
hair, but he's
we
pointing
don't
to
look
Elise.
like men. We look like devils.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Yep,
Oh,
I don't
great.
get it.
You just watched God, you failed it. I would have given you the most basis one if you just didn't fail it like that bad.
I didn't think I was gonna roll
But
one.
you see that he's pointing. He's pointing to Elise. And he's just pointing. Man thing, white hair. Man thing, needle.
This is getting harder and harder to debunk. Then again, I'm still pretty tired.
Something that looks like me? Well, white hair.
Shakes head. Man thing, white hair. Broken tower, top. Needle. Take cage.
In a cage? Trapped? In cage? White
Man
hair?
things.
Trapped in
Man things
cage?
from village. In cages. Skaven Sake drag. Drag up top, mountain. Towards broken tower. Needle. Man thing wait. Take cage.
Tieflings locked up in cages up there, maybe?
Oh.
Zirak, you sort of peek and
Remember-
you see that Squickwick is pointing to Elise, but very vehemently pointing in a certain area of her body, specifically her breasts. Valeria, you believe that this man-thing with white hair, you're thinking that he's describing to you a maybe human woman with white hair.
Oh.
Wait,
Is that a woman?
didn't you say Sibelius had white hair? Nalian?
No, she had red, didn't she?
Oh, okay, right.
Sabella's a redhead.
Zirak, what was the thing that took, I forgot. The lady, the one that betrayed you. I forgot her name. Dang it.
Saphirian?
Mara?
No, it's Saphirian.
Oh.
But she's not a betrayer anymore. She's not possessed by the demon entity that had her soul imprisoned.
But the one that did do all those things and left with your beloved. So, she may have both of her beloveds.
My eyes would narrow as a taste for vengeance would cross my mind, and I would immediately spur my horse onward towards the mountain.
Wait, wasn't there some place where they were killing people from way back?
That wasn't by a mountain.
That wasn't up the mountain, right? Where they were killing the deformed babies, in quotations.
No.
The devil baby
that was
you
down.
read
That
about
was down more.
happened
that was
here.
down more.
Oh no, this was where the mayor was hung. Here was where the baby was burned. And then Thalion read in the diary what happened at Wisp Hollow.
Okay, yeah. So that's totally different from the mountains.
The only castle is that the ruins of Castle Croy, right?
I mean, there are ruins near the base of the mountain, the ruins of Castle Croy.
So cryptic. I feel like it's either heading kind of in the direction towards ruins of Castle Croy and those mountains, or the ruins of Sitgard.
Did mention something of a mountain, a castle, and a lake.
Spike Tower also, but I don't recall a Spike Tower.
Well, perhaps whichever direction we go.
Tower?
If we go a particular direction and the rat seems nervous about going that direction, then we know we're going the right way.
Well, I guess we are closer to Helborg Keep, which is near the ruins of Sitgard.
Well, we should probably keep a close eye out on everything.
So I guess we will start towards Helborg Keep.
Okay, you guys begin to go west, following the route road, going along this river valley towards Helborg Keep. Passing through Apple Willow. By the time you guys get towards Seaton's Quarry, it is close to nighttime. You see the ghost town sort of ahead of you. No lights, no movement. It's the same as what you had discovered in Apple Willow. If you guys check it out, home's abandoned. not much there.
I would like to, perhaps, I'll get off my horse and open up one of the doors to the houses and see if there are bodies inside the houses or if the places are totally abandoned.
You remember the sort of telltale signs of what you were looking for before. You look under beds, inside cupboards, and you find the craters of dirt. You begin to look around more, and you see inside the homes with the dirt floors that are still there, sort of saved away from the mud, the indentations of what look like children's hands.
I turn around and glare at Rat Boy.
He hasn't left the wagon. He's swaddled in his wool blankets right now.
Well, I will return to the group and kind of let them know that apparently they've been kidnapped out of here as well, taken from their beds.
And do you know that all these towns in red are towns that have been confirmed, where people have completely vanished off the face of the map, never to be seen again? Inklefield, Basstown, Byam Row, Skelton, Willow, Birdminster, all those towns are the ones that that Thalion confirmed when you guys were down in Valkenburg as populace missing.
You don't suppose this is all one giant tunnel connecting all of it, do you?
Well, it's a good thing we didn't stay underground. That's all I have to say, because that would have been a long journey.
I'd rather not go back down there without further preparation.
Not to mention, the closer we are in these quarters, the sicker we get.
Underway, just above Big Deep. No go Big Deep. Underwear where Skaven stay.
Eventually we're gonna have to become a little fluent in their broken common.
Or we can teach him to speak. Well, I actually don't know if they can, but I'm assuming if they can learn, they could probably learn to get better at talking.
He sort of waddles towards you in his little blanket robe that he's kind of wearing over himself, Leomorn, and he kind of tugs on your robes a bit. He kind of points to his mouth. Eat.
Oh, you're hungry. Oh, bloody hell.
Yes, eat.
See, I got the check for. Let's see, do I even have anything here?
I think all we have is. Oh wait, no, we ran out of fish, didn't we? Yeah.
You already went through all the fish reserves.
I think we might still have a few rations left, but something sounds really eventually have to grab some more fishing.
Yeah. You hear some chewing, Leomorn, as you're looking, and you look and you see that he has like a spare of someone's like spare leather boots, and he's kind of chewing on the top of the boots, kind of.
I would like to ride up to the. I would like to ride up to the cart, and I'm going to take a bit of fish out of my saddlebag and fully dip it into the sauce. Just like a chip, like a potato chip with a bunch of queso on it. And I want to hand him a bit of the fish with the sauce on it.
He takes the
and then
fish.
Smile and ride off.
He takes the fish. He gets the goop all over his hands from the sauce, and he devours
lick
the
it clean,
fish.
lick it clean.
And he licks his fingers clean. So now not only does this poor rat that probably never had a bath still smells somewhat like poop, now he smells like fishy poop.
Yes, and his fingers taste like fish.
He is quite.
Oh, poor little guy.
That's like one of the most delicious things he's ever eaten.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wave my hand for prestidigitation on this poor little friend of ours.
Oh, but he looks so
Can only
happy.
do so much.
Look at it. Look at that big smile on his toothy rat grin when he eats his fingers off.
He does have a big old toothy smile. But it's like a dumb smile.
Like a ditto face derp smile. That's like.
Well, I'm pretty sure that with time we can teach him things over time.
Are you guys going to push past Seaton's Quarry? Or are you guys going to sort of camp near the outskirts of town?
I don't want to be near these areas. We almost got sick being near there. We should probably get to Hellborg Keep.
And Xeric, what you noticed too is that the town of Seaton's Quarry itself was quite a unique sort of looking place. You can kind of get the idea when Thalion told you that this place is called Seaton's Quarry. You're thinking quarry, perhaps mining, and you're looking and there's this giant sort of pit in the middle of the town where it looks like they were mining clay. You can imagine that this was kind of where perhaps most of the incursion happened and or brought, because there's tunnels going into the earth from there just from the clay mine. Valeria says she is not comfortable being here. She would like to push on.
Thalion stops the cart and kind of looks over, and he's like, maybe a little off from the town, but if our destination is Hellborg Keep, and that is where we're going to encounter most trouble, away from the keep is where we should rest before encountering them, considering what the disease did do to some of us when we woke.
Would be nice to rest.
Could we? I mean, this ghost town seems
Not saying in the
rather-
town, but a little bit away from it.
Perhaps we can push on to the keep. I don't know how far away that is, but I mean, having stone walls around us.
It'll be like another day's ride.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
You guys can
So,
push.
yeah, maybe
you guys can push for another 2 or 3 hours. Give yourself some distance from the town and be on your way closer towards Hellborg Keep. But right now, you guys are just on the outskirts of Seaton's Quarry, and then Xeric was the one that kind of rode forward and kind of looked at stuff on the back of Ophelia. So
Yeah, so I say I agree that we could maybe push past Seaton's Quarry and camp in the woods near the river, and make sure we check the grounds for any mounds or rat prints, so that we know we're not going to get sucked down to the earth while we sleep.
That would make sense. And kind of looking over my shoulder, I'm like, we're going to eventually have to maybe throw some clothes, cleaner things on. Quick there.
I
cuddled
chuckle.
in his blanket.
I chuckle under my breath that fish smell isn't going to go anywhere for a couple days.
He belches loudly.
Yes.
It just fills the inside of the wagon with just fish.
Oh,
And then he just smiles. He smiles again.
Xeric, I swear I'm gonna make you pay for this.
Well, I have plenty of fish sauce to pay with. It's worth quite a bit, actually. Expensive stuff.
Okay, so you
Yes,
guys
let's go.
push back, push through town. The clouds darkening around you guys. It gets pretty dark here at night with the constant cloud cover. The moon occasionally breaking through sometimes, but just the roiling cloud cover. The sky is constantly there, constantly present. It makes everything just as dark. Sparking your lights and kind of riding through, you guys find what you believe is a nice place to camp. You guys set up camp. What do you guys want to do?
I think I'll actually go up to Valeria Excuse me, Miss Valeria. Do you have a moment to talk? I'd rather not have others listen to this.
What's going on? And then somewhere further away from the group.
Yeah. You remember back at the end what happened? The voice?
Yeah, the voice.
Yeah.
Happening to you too?
Yes, ever since we left, I ended up getting this weird dream of like this gold, riches beyond anything I could ever imagine, and it said that it could be mine. But I push it aside, and ever since then, it's been I can hear it at random spots telling me to accept it or to do something, and it's just I didn't know who else to talk to with this, and you were the only other one I could think of that had this.
Dang it, he's back again. I don't know if this happening to you, then it must be something worse than we thought. I don't know, what could it be though? I mean, do you think it's the creature that was haunting? Well, no, it can't be the thing that's haunting. Can it be him? I don't know.
Well, certain forces and effects do work in odd ways, and I'm not saying that it's likely, but we shouldn't scratch the chance off.
I don't know. All I know is that the only way this is going to stop is if we put this to an end. I just don't know if we have a chance right now, but eventually we have to stop it.
And I know, I don't want to offload this on you, but you're the only other one that I know that had this. I'm afraid if I tell any of the others, with what you see what happened to me earlier, I don't know what they would think of me.
I mean, can't you trust? She would never turn her back on you.
No, of course. We've been together for so long, and granted there's quite a long gap in between, but I know I could trust her. I just don't know how she would react.
If anything, we're all going a little bit crazy.
Well, so far none of us have put our own underwear on our heads and around, so I guess that's a good sign now, isn't it?
Yeah. I really thought that the voice had left, but I guess it's still there.
Whatever it is, I know it's just me. And shut up already, and just slightly hit the side of my head. See, you're doing it again.
All I know is that as long as you stay strong, you should be fine.
It does remind me, I did want to make something for you, since I wasn't sure if you were also going to be affected by it as well, and maybe have a rough night or two, but I'll have to wait till I get the chance to make it. But until then, you know, if it feels like something is happening, just give me a good smack on the lip or something. I need someone or something to smack me in my senses should that happen.
Okay, that's a little bit. Okay, fine. I'll. That's kind of. Oh yeah, fine. I'll give you a little smack in the back of the head.
I know, it's a lot, but I was always one to think of things ahead, and just on the off chance.
Right. So if you look like you're gonna hurt one of us, I should smack you in the back of the head.
Or something.
Or punch you. That's pretty mean punch.
That maybe not the punching. It's you know, it's well then again, maybe a punch. No. Glass jaw. Wouldn't like that.
That is true. You are kind of weak. I wouldn't want to accidentally hurt you.
I am working on it. I slowly am. It's just I still can't get a push-up in, honestly. But then again, I'm wearing my backpack. That increases the chances. You know what? That I'm just sounding like an idiot now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Alien, what are you doing?
I strap on those gauntlets since Rovanian didn't take them, though I'm gonna try and convince him again when he's on next time. But I then would probably attempt to speak with him once more. Not sure if you'd prefer I'd wait until he's...
You're gonna wait till he's here, because I'm not gonna play that for Chris. So he had to log really quick because something came up. But that'll be something that you guys will have to handle. We'll just say that he feels somewhat standoffish at the moment, deep in thought, and you don't feel like intruding on his sort of quiet.
Okay, my next thing then would probably be to go speak with Zirak.
Okay, you notice that Zirak is coming back with a honking huge salmon that he pulled out of the river, with these sort of silvery black scales. It's a really good...
I'm getting good at tying flies.
I see. I should have joined you. As Garshell's probably behind me, licking his lips, looking at your catch.
Fishing calms my mind and allows me to focus on what we've discovered so far and try to put things in order. I'm finding that I'm very much enjoying the hobby.
So I must probably need something similar to keep myself steady. I must say you were not kidding when you said we are very akin. Almost seems like things are too similar.
Well, perhaps we're brothers. Who knows? I don't know my parents. I was left in the woods to be raised by dryads as a babe. I don't know from whence I came. Although your ears are a bit different than mine. And I chuckle.
Yes, my mother is elven. My father was a human, a knight. One that I do not know if he still lives or not, but I've been searching for signs of him. I originally had asked Valeria, since he hails from the same land.
Well, it seems that your life is rife with quests of trying to locate past loved ones. I wish you the best, and if I can be by your side, I will, when you find them.
Hopefully both of our beloveds are safe still once we encounter whoever that fake Severian was really.
Well, how are you feeling? Is the sickness leaving your bones? Are you feeling any more energetic than you were this morning?
My body is not as achy, but in general, since being reawakened, I still feel numb. I feel like I'm relying on memories of what things felt like.
Well, I hope Garshadow is feeling better today as well. A good night's sleep should do us all really well. I'm going to prepare this fish for smoking, and I'll have to keep a small fire going all night to produce the smoke necessary to flavor the fish. But by morning, it should be quite dry.
I should probably see if I can catch something so Garshadow has some food as well. Maybe see if
I will. I'll hand Thalion my rod that I just kind of put together. Basically, I have fishing tackle on my character sheet, but I feel like I would probably just grab a branch and make a pole out of a branch and then attach the tackle to it when I fish, so I don't have to keep a large pole on my saddlebag. But I'm trying to get in the habit of making quality fishing rods, basically, as a little side thing. But I hand you the fishing pole that I made, and I said, well, it was lucky for me tonight. Feel free.
Thank you.
Okay, you head over to the river. Go ahead and give me a survival check. Elise, what are you doing?
I call over my shoulder that they're swimming close to the surface, Thalion. Go on.
Elise was gonna do what Zarek had suggested and see if she can find something to go with the fish. Berries, potatoes, cabbage.
You're gonna try to forage. Okay, why don't you go
That's
ahead
what she's
and
like.
survival.
I make no promises, but I can try.
You guys watch as, like, while everybody's sort of moving around, Drummond and Rudy have kind of fallen asleep, just on their packs, head back, just kind of close to the fire that you guys have made. Rovanian eventually falls asleep while you guys are still sort of moving around, kind of doing your own thing. Thalion, though not as large as the one that Zarek caught, you come back with a pretty good sizable salmon. Probably about 2 feet long, quite meaty, not bad, good catch. Elise, you do manage to find some fern fronds, as well as some wild huckleberries that seem to be growing along the area here. And what seems to be some bulrush from cattails that you think look a little bit tasty, and you bring them back.
On my way back, I do see if I notice any herbs before I go back to cook the fish.
You spent your 2 hours of downtime fishing, so
Rats, okay.
we'll say that you guys start cooking up one of the fish. Zirak prepares and salts another fish to be smoked kind of overnight. We'll say that you guys... this is kind of tough. We'll kind of discuss a watch schedule between you guys that are still here. Squickwick is in the wagon in his huddled wool blankets, just kind of staying there.
Are you sure you don't want to come out of there?
You just kind of watch like his head pop up with like his blanket hood, and then it like drops back down, and he's just kind of in the... You're getting the idea, Leomorn, the more time you spend with him. He's used to being surrounded by Earth, and being enclosed. He's not used to being out here in the wide open. You can imagine that he probably feels like a mouse in a field running for his life while hawks kind of fly over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a comfort in himself, like swaddling himself in a blanket and staying in an enclosed wagon.
It's like, well, you can stay there if you want. Just know that it's safe to come out with us.
The head pops up again, and then it drops back down.
I'm pretty sure if we all work together, he'll be right as rain.
You guys have a very rustic but very good dinner. It's kind of a high point of the week after everything that's kind of happened. You almost forget about where you are for the moment before it comes back in stark realization. But it's good, and you guys eventually find your ways to bed. Valeria takes the first watch, sitting next to the fire, kind of watching over everybody. Valeria, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
you begin to hear something over the sounds of your friend's light snoring and the crackling of the fire. You begin to hear whispers. You sort of concentrate, focusing, trying to hear. And it's like multiple voices. And you're looking around from side to side. And the whispers just keep coming. Getting louder and louder. You stand up and you turn. And then you see it. Almost crawling through the brush. A very gaunt, skinny, humanoid person. Cheeks sunken, eyes sunken and sallow, but they burn with a red light. The front hands inhumanly massive, and the closer it sort of comes towards you, whispering, as you're looking at the eyes, you begin to shake with fear. Elongated limbs moving cat-like before it stands up to a height. And begins to sprint towards you.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to leave off.
Well, I didn't need to sleep tonight. Thank you for that, Mark.
You're welcome. This is the closest picture I could find to what I had in mind.
Oh god, more zombies? Great.
Ooh, that's a creepy looking dude.
Oh god.
It's not exactly like naked like that. There, as you see this one stand up, I mean, there is hair. Like thin veils of long hair that as it runs, it begins to like taken up by the wind as he sprints. It's wearing what seems to be sort of tattered clothes over it, but the limbs and its arms, its legs almost look like they've been elongated. The body is sort of thin and almost stretched, but the hands are just turned into these sort of massive spikes. Each finger like maybe 2 feet long in length, and the palm just huge. And definitely moving unlike any zombie you've ever seen, and just this constant chorus of whispers echoing from its...
It honestly looks like the Charred from 7 Days to Die in the Wastelands. It definitely looks like the...
Well, thankfully nobody died. You guys got some cool loot. You finally got out of the rat warren. And have seemingly found yourself face to face with a new foe, west, towards the western part of the map. So,
and we acquired a new party member.
Good old Squickwick.
Did quite focus on the word west.
Like I said, as long, I'm pretty sure if everyone were...
I thought you guys wanted to go west, right?
Yeah, I think we were planning to go to... What was that?
I had the feeling that those Warrens were heading west, or that's where Doug's friend was being taken. I wasn't 100% sure.
Well, you knew the Warrens. Like there was the upper Warrens where you guys were at, and you guys noticed that there are tunnels that led further down, the ones that they kept escaping into, to which Squickwick would tell you, no, go down, Underwarren, Skaven down there. So you can imagine that that's perhaps where their numbers are in bulk, is down those tunnels. In the Underwarren, away from the Upper Warren that they were using to sort of steal the people from the villages. He said Underwarren, just above Big Deep. If you guys have knowledge of the Underdark, perhaps you can think that the Underwarren lies just above the Underdark.
Excellent. So there's drow with rats living on top of them. That's awesome. I don't. What's supposed to be east?
Great! Anything but the drow.
What clue did you have, Valeria? That was supposed to be east.
All I remember was something about east and mountains. Be east of the mountains, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Plus, if you look on the map, there are two other. Well, there's like a tower and another castle east, and then there's also another castle ruins there too. I don't know if we already checked out over there though, but.
At the same time, it did say the top is part of the mountain, and that the ruins is at the top is. So it could be either or.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, to be honest, I was looking at both. They both kind of felt like they fit. I might be wrong, but since we were close to this.
Hopefully we find a clue anyway, even if we are wrong, that perhaps your friend did come this way and do something here. But yeah, okay.
Zach,
good game.
Do you have comprehend languages?
I do not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this fight. But also, I kind of like the situation and predicament you guys are in, because in my mind right now, Thalion is coming off as being extremely shaken. And it's kind of coming off as he's not quite sure right now what the plan is. And it's kind of like flying by the seat of his pants, and I kind of like that. Emotionally driven, and then Valeria is like, no. Like, so for me, like in my mind, it was playing off as pretty incredible.
Is this fight before or after our rest that we were just getting ready?
This is like the very, very top of the rest. Like, you guys have just begun to lay down, and Valeria just now started to. So it's probably like an hour in, and you guys are sort of sleeping. I was speaking really, really, really slow when I was describing that, because I was waiting for Valeria to say, "I wake everybody."
All right. Well, I just hope they don't mess up my fish smoking area, or I'm gonna get really mad.
God damn it! Place.
Keep the fight away from the smoking area.
I fucking hate this place.
Oh god, it's gonna be a moment, DBZ. Vegeta, he's dissing you too. I'll kill him.
Did you see the size of that fish I caught? If they mess that up, I'm gonna be really mad.
That is a trophy fish you caught, my friend.
Yep. If only I could take a picture.
Yeah, even your athletic might had some trouble carrying that Hulk back over. That was a really good roll. So I was like, you're gonna get a prize fish.
Nice. I like it.
Right on, guys. Thank you very much. I'm glad nobody died. Thankfully, I did kill Drummond, even though he probably should have died, but I fucked that up. It's all good. I'll see everybody next Tuesday, and I think I'll see some of you this Friday.
Good night.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Give in to temptation, Lamorn. Night, everybody.
He's a
Have
good
a
boy.
Night.
He's a nice boy.
Have a good night.
Oh, ta-ta. Bye.
Hey, you still there, Mark?
Yeah.
Did I tell you I met Hodor yet?
Oh, you met Hodor? Was that in Vegas?
No, it was here in Puyallup. Puyallup's trying to have their own little small convention thing.
Oh, nice.
They call it SummerCon, and he was there. Yeah, Candace is obsessed with Game of Thrones. You probably still know more than her though, but she wanted to meet Hodor, so went.
That's pretty awesome. Is it Christian Nairn, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
guy is huge.
He is a large human being in general. Yeah, it's kind of incredible how large he is.
Sitting down, he was taller than us.
Yeah. It's very good casting. Was he just there for a con, or did he like do anything with his music?
He was just there for the con, though. He did have on a shirt that definitely seemed like a DJ shirt.
Yeah, because he's I think he's an EDM DJ in Europe.
Yeah, he actually was walking out in the open too. After we met him, saw him just sitting around other people in the public. Wouldn't be surprised if he did have something planned.
Yeah. Did you hold the door for him?
No.
That guy must be so tired of that shit.
I
Oh,
guess
hold
it's
the
a
door.
good thing Candace didn't find the. She was looking for the shirt that just said "I held the door." You definitely confused me though with Squidwick's talks.
Yeah, man, he's not human. His comment is very broken.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how wrong I was or how right I was.
It's gonna be great. Everything is gonna be great. That's all you gotta. Everything's gonna work out just fine. You just gotta believe that. Heart and soul. Yeah, there's so in that diary there are entries from the day before you left up to the very last one we read. Not a lot, but it's like you kind of flipping through.